Good morning. It's Thursday, and you're listening to the Klein Alley Show. And this is Pantyhose Greg here. And if you're cold out there, just put on a pair of pantyhose. You'll warm up for sure.
Klein Alley Show. 106.7 KROQ FM in HD Pasadena, Los Angeles, Orange County. This is the world famous KROQ.
Great advice from Pantyhose Greg. If you're a little chilly right now, it's early hour of the morning, just throw on a pair of pantyhose. Keep you nice and warm. Good morning. How the hell goes it? It is the Prequen. Welcome. I'm Klein. There's Allie.
Morning.
That is DJ Omar Khan.
Hey, man. How's it going? Hey, by the way, I know you're having some babysitter issues. There's your answer. Pantyhose Greg, man.
Pantyhose Greg. He needs a gig.
Salt of the earth.
He is available, I'm sure, to do anything as long as he can get there via bus.
Him and your kids watching Kelly Clarkson? Come on.
Oh, man. I don't think he actually watches real Kelly Clarkson live. He only watches the replay at 3 in the morning or something.
Oh, okay.
I thought he just was watching a billboard.
He may just be watching a billboard for Kelly Clarkson.
But you were telling me before the show started that your kids are bored, because every kid is bored on spring break unless they're doing something amazing. I don't think anyone's ever been bored around Pantyhose Greg. He is an endless well of stories and interesting sound bites.
Right now, I'm going to have them entertained by the lamp, but if the lamp doesn't work, then Pantyhose Greg is my next call. I planned this terribly, to spring break for them this week, and I thought they could live vicariously through Allie's adventure through the Grand Canyons. I even sat them down yesterday, and I said, let me tell you all about Allie's trip. And they said, I don't want to hear about Allie's trip.
Torture them. They didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, they go, why do I want to hear about that trip? Why aren't we on a trip right now? And I said, well, I didn't plan it well. And just like that, I woke up.
Are they not into arts and crafts, reading books?
For like
Roblox?
5 minutes at a time, dude. Everything's 5 minutes at a time.
So they have ADHD, what you have, right?
Oh, yeah, big time. Worse than I think even worse than I have it, to be honest. Because...
because they have more stimulation probably at a young age than you had growing up. And we were going to have ADHD anyway, but now everyone has ADHD on top of that.
And I did all that stupid crap you're supposed to do when you have a kid. They're like, don't let them look at a screen until they're at least 2. And I would I tried to shut it down. If the TV was on, even if I was watching football and I had the baby on my lap, I would make them face away from the TV.
Wow, you were one of those.
Yeah, of course. Well, for a little bit, I thought it would
shield her eyes.
I thought it mattered.
Evil screen.
What a waste of time that was. It seems to not matter anyway. So now
just let him watch porn.
At one time I accidentally handed them what I thought was YouTube, and it was porn.
It was only for 2 seconds at a time.
2 seconds at a time. That's right. They can't blame me for that. That's Jake the Nerd back there in the back room. You got Vanessa, Postmaster Johnny. If you need us, we're here for the interaction. 800-520-1067. Disneyland tickets will be in your future today. We're also going to get you into the 30 Seconds to Mars one-night-only event at the Forum to celebrate 20 years since the iconic album that Jared Leto was on to talk to us about yesterday. And we'll give you those tickets later this morning as well. And I don't think we have them today, but I think tomorrow we're going to give you some Kings playoff tickets so you can go support your LA Kings. So we got lots to give you. The bribery is thick, my friends, and you can interact with the show, believe it or not. Allie, what's the number here?
That would be 800-520-1067.
Just making sure it still works. Allie's back. She's recovered. She's been back in society now for 24 hours. She said it's rough. She wants to go back to the river.
Day 2 is kind of depressing.
Lots to get into on today's show. Good morning. Thanks for starting your Prequen with us right here on KROQ. always ask when we say Disneyland why we say it like that. It's a tribute to the great Adam Sandler movie, maybe the most underrated Adam Sandler movie that ever was, called Bulletproof. If you haven't seen it, check it out. I don't even know where you'd find a copy of it. It seems like it's probably one of those DVDs they still try to sell by the register at CVS for $1.99.
No, I think they're remaking it.
No, there's no way they're remaking Bulletproof.
Yeah, Bulletproof, duh.
Damon Wayans and Adam Sandler, a great buddy comedy. I would put them up there with any of the great. Put them up there with Jackie Chan and any of the people you think about those buddy comedies. Currently, I guess it's Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Kevin Hart that are doing everything together. But back in the day, it was Sandler and Damon Wayans. Bulletproof.
What's the premise of this movie? Unfortunately, I missed this one.
I don't remember anything about it,
Except for the word
but I remember at one point they get pulled.
Adam Sandler shoots Damian Wayans.
He shoots Damon Wayans, and they get pulled over by the cops, and they have to pretend that Adam Sandler is special needs and that he's taking him.
Oh no, really?
And this is a different time.
Damon Wayans is an undercover cop.
That's right.
And Adam Sandler is a drug dealer.
Right.
How's that sound like, Klein?
Well, when the cop tries to see what's going on, all Sandler says in the backseat over and over again is Disneyland.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and that's why
That sounds funny.
It's very funny, and it would never happen in today's world. But back in whenever that movie was released, 90s, I guess it was funny. So that's why we say that.
that's why we reference it with no context whatsoever.
That's right.
In an old problematic movie.
And now we've answered it. You know, we have been paying a lot of tributes on this radio station to a legend known as Jed the Fish, and I thought everyone understood why we were paying these tributes, but this guy's very confused.
Yo, guys, podcast listener here. So I don't know KROQ outside of, really y'all showing the podcast. So when y'all started talking about Jed the Fish and how he died, I was really confused for a while, and I didn't know how a fish could live to be 69 years old.
This guy thought we were paying tribute to an actual fish that was living in the KROQ studios.
And why y'all just kept a fish at the KROQ station that time, I was really confused for a while until I realized it was a person.
That's a weird turn of events.
So then what were all the sound clips we were playing?
I don't know what that guy thought.
So yeah, R.I.P. the fish. We did.
Okay, thank you. See, now he's becoming... And you missed out because Jed the Fish was a great guy to know, a great DJ to know, and the tributes continuing to pour in. And this is a warning, and I just want to start today's show with a valuable warning to every single person in Southern California that is listening to this right now. I want you to be aware of something that you should know about. I heard this for the very first time about 5 minutes ago, and now I'm concerned, and you should be as well.
Hey, Klein Alley Show and listeners. Just wanted to point out that on today's show, Allie talked about peeing in the Colorado River, which is the main water source for all of Los Angeles.
Oh, boy.
Oh, I know
so
all about the history
of it. If you're one of 19 million Los Angeles residents, you've got about 48 hours before you're drinking Allie's pee water. Sweet divots.
What a terrible thought to start today with. The water that Allie was bathing in.
Do you know we're in a drought?
And peeing in and frolicking in on her white water.
We need the water.
This is all the water that in about 48 hours will be coming out of our faucets.
And I was making sure I was very hydrated. Ugh. So I was going in that river probably 4 or 5, sometimes 6 times a day.
That is nauseating.
Sometimes I would just go right into the river, and sometimes I would wade all the way in so that I could release it at different parts of the river.
I feel like there's going to be a record number of people in L.A. that are going to die of dehydration after hearing this news. Because they're just going to say, not drinking it.
They told us to. They said that it's good for everybody if we pee into the river.
If you want $100 of that monster's money, call now. 800-520-1067. We got 5 questions right here, all about things happening in the news. She's still reconnecting with society. She still has no idea of what really has been going on in the world.
Nor do I want to know.
The river has changed her, and she is fighting this modern-day comfort known as the Internet. So now is a great chance to
When I was at mile marker 124, and I saw one of the oldest rocks ever existing on the Earth at 1.8 billion years old, I thought to myself, how small are all of us, and how minuscule are our problems. We zoom out in life and simply think to ourselves, I am a blip in the history of time. All of our problems we'll see. Okay.
Allie's a blimp in the history of time.
All right, you know what? I'm going to go urinate in your office.
All right, great. You would not be the first. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, take her money, please, next on KROQ.
KROQ.
Get out your bunny ears at 9 noon, 3 and 6.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me.
We're stuffing your Easter basket with tickets to Disneyland After Dark, Star Wars Night, happening May 6th. Not only will you find the tickets, you'll find all kinds of happy at the Disneyland Resort. You'll even find a travel to a galaxy far, far away kind of happy. Keep listening to win. And happy K-Rockster from KROQ. Not a real holiday, but we aren't coming in that day anyway.
K-Rock.
Before we get to the news, there's been a real battle happening here, as Allie's been half in, half out on her spring break getaway. Who is better at delivering the news when Allie's not around? Is it Postmaster Johnny? Is it Jake the Nerd? In this exciting edition of ADD News, we will go back and forth, and you will determine once and for all who is better at delivering the stories, Johnny or Jake. It starts. A news battle royale starts right now. We'll start with Jake, and then Johnny, and then Jake, and then Johnny. 4 rounds of news. You will determine who's better at bringing us the stories. These are all stories that they hand-selected, by the way, so that's a big part of the process. Go ahead, Jake.
All right, in his new book released on Tuesday, Mark Hoppus from Blink-182 has revealed that one time in 2004, The Cure's Robert Smith tried to make out with him after a show. He said, "I've seen him several times since, and it's been totally cool, and nobody's talked about it. But at an after party almost 25 years ago, everyone was drinking and having fun, and Smith was, quote, feeling saucy and having a good time. Hoppus said, my wife and I are like, all right, we're out, see you later. And then Robert tries to kiss me, noting that no one except for members of Blink-182's road crew saw it happen. He continued, saying, he was my hero. I grew up listening to this guy's music, and it changed my life forever. Then he tries to kiss me at a party. I'm like, I should have done that. Why not? It's a much better story than he tried to kiss me, and it was awkward. It'd been rad to have been like, yeah, I made out with my hero.
Yeah, I wonder, Omar, you're a big Cure guy. You identify as a straight man, but if Robert Smith of The Cure tries to make out with you out of respect, do you just make out with him anyway?
Nothing about that man is attractive to me. So,
right, so you would not.
I have to be, right, exactly. I would have to be attracted to the, whether it be a man, lady, or whatever.
Yeah, I'm trying to think about this. If it's someone that you respect the craft.
I respect him, and he's incredibly talented, and yeah, he changed my life too. You know, he's my favorite band, but I definitely would not make out with him.
I would do something way gayer than make out with him. I'd play pickleball with him.
Okay.
But that would probably be the extent of it. I don't think I'd let him kiss me. But I mean, yeah, I'm sure Hoppus, all these guys probably think to themselves, and I'm sure they all have a bunch of stories that they have never shared publicly, and then they just think to themselves, eventually I'll write a book one day, and all these stories will be useful.
Chester Bennington tried to kiss me one time. I should have let him do it.
Chester Bennington of Lincoln Park tried to kiss you one time.
Yeah, man. He came right at me. I had to put my hand over my mouth, and he kissed my hand.
I feel like he can't even defend himself now, so who even knows if this is a real story?
It's totally true.
That's Cap.
What were the circumstances?
Back when they first started...
He saw Jake's giant boobs and was like, oh, man, you got to get in on that.
Motorboat time!
He came right off stage and kissed his wife, who was standing right next to me, and I was just joking, go, where's mine? And he came right in for it.
So
that sounds like Chester for sure.
Yeah, but he'll go for the joke, but you tried to initiate. Yeah. It's not like he saw you and found you and said, this is a attractive man. You were just trying to be funny, and he was like going to not leave you hanging.
Yeah.
That's a good man. Well, I would like to believe that we can all think about Chester Bennington right now and at least feel good knowing that he never had to kiss Jake the Nerd. We can all feel good about that. All right, Johnny, story number 2. What do you got?
All right, here we go. Nice and quick. All you Coachella fans, listen up. A 3.0 magnitude earthquake has hit 7 miles from Calipatria this morning at 1:55 a.m. And be advised, this is the second earthquake to hit this area, as a 2.7 struck 9 miles from India.
There was an earthquake, I believe, during Coachella a few years ago, if I remember correctly. Like, as people were there in the desert, they got an earthquake.
No reaction, huh? They didn't care.
I don't think people even knew what it was, because you're at a festival. It's a great place to be like, I don't know what that was. That could have been one of the thousands of bands here.
It didn't stop Nicole Alvarez.
So, yeah, no, Nicole Alvarez will be a survivor. She will be there. All right, story number 3, we go back to Jake the Nerd.
With the tariffs and inflation on the rise, people are always looking for a deal, especially when eating out, which can get easily very expensive. According to the Consumer Price Index, menu prices have risen almost 4% since last year. And to help out, some restaurants across the country had the unique approach of, instead of the very expensive seafood towers, offering hot dog towers. One spot in South Carolina says
Of course, Fat Jake is reporting on this story.
I was going to say.
What, the hot dog tower? Did that come up in your algorithm?
over and over again.
Yeah, I believe
times.
it. Go ahead.
One spot in South Carolina says you can get all 5 of their specialty wieners served on a tower with truffle fries and dipping sauces for the low bargain price of $60. Another spot in Massachusetts says their tower started at $35. Even on my weight loss meds, I still eat it.
You know, it's
I love the hot dog.
Yeah, no one should be a bigger supporter of the hot dog tower than Vanessa, who loves the hot dog. The seafood tower, I believe, is the most expensive thing you can order at any restaurant ever. And I know this because one of those times we went out as a show and Jake knew he wasn't paying. You better believe he ordered the seafood tower.
No, I ordered the steak. Allie ordered the seafood tower.
Well, whatever it was.
And everyone liked the steak, and no one liked the seafood tower.
Yeah, nobody ate that tower.
Yeah, it was just a giant smoking tower of seafood. And it looks cool. I see it go around. I'm super jealous of other tables that have that at nice restaurants, but those are like, I feel like they're $200 minimum for a seafood tower. Hot dog tower's got to be under $50. Probably worth it. All right, final story, Postmaster Johnny. It's a real back-and-forth news battle on the show today.
All right, here we go. All you Trader Joe's hoes, this one's for you. Trader Joe's is back at it again with another viral product that has got people lined up for miles, and it's, of course, the Trader Joe's tote bag. But this time, the bag costs $2.99 and is available in pastel shades of blue, pink, purple, and green.
How's this news? Is this a commercial?
What are you talking about?
It's news.
This is news, Vanessa?
Yeah, the girls go crazy for those tote bags.
My girl sent me a video last night saying, hey, look at this.
Are they fighting for them, like people beating each other up and trampling for them, or how does it work?
They're domesticated now, so they're all waiting in line like lamos.
What is that, Johnny? Domesticated.
They're domesticated.
All right. Johnny may win the battle just for that sexist comment right there. Congratulations, Johnny.
All
well
lunar
done.
cats.
Yeah.
That's right.
So, yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right, there you have it. Earthquakes and tote bags and hot dog towers. There's your news. We get into a brand new hour of the show next on KROQ. As well as some tickets to go see 30 Seconds to Mars in a one-night-only event happening at the Kia Forum. And right now, $100 of Allie's cash could be your money, and all you got to do is be on the phones at 800-520-1067, or you're more than welcome just to play along in the background, see how you would have done had you been on the air, and maybe tomorrow right around this time you call us and claim your $100 cash money. Here is a theme song that was left on the GO line, inspired by Allie's trips on the river.
The life lessons from her trip were a real snooze. Let's find out if Allie knows the news. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba. Get back here, Diddy.
Come back here, Diddy.
Hey, there he is. Giving Omar some love from his Getting Back Here Diddy line. Let's say hi to Jose in Woodland Hills. Good morning, Jose.
Hey, good morning. How's it going?
Good. We have 5 questions here all about the news. Allie will leave the studio, sequester herself. She will not hear the questions. She will not know the answers, or at least we hope she doesn't. If you do better than she does, she will pay the people, and that's what it's all about. And it's interesting because there's been a theory on the GOAT line. This theory we get quite often about Allie Knows the News.
You can really tell how well put together the show is when Allie gets a question wrong on Allie Knows the News, and then later that's what she's reporting on for ADD News. Omar.
That's a little stutter tribute to Omar. But the reality is, a lot of times Allie doesn't know what is happening, at least what these questions will be. And then after we talk about them, she'll be like, I should research that and deliver that as a news story later in the show. So it does happen in real time. I have no idea what ADD News she's putting together, but she's been in here for the last hour doing it. The question is, will our questions overlap with her research? And if not, hopefully we pay you the people. And your round, Jose, starts right now.
Allie Knows the News.
Question number 1. Miller Lite is teaming up with this snack to create beer-flavored or at least beer-inspired chips. Miller Lite is teaming up with who exactly?
I would say Cheetos, maybe?
Cheetos. Go to question number 2. The 2025 Emmys has a new host. It's a comedian, but who is it?
Comedian.
You didn't answer.
I'm blanking.
Blanking?
Let me go
3,
with
2, 1.
I don't know.
Question number 3. Research has determined that this color of clothing is the most returned for people that do online shopping. If you buy clothes of this color, there's a good chance you're sending it back. What color clothing do people most often return?
Probably, I would say yellow.
Go to question number 4. This former adorable child star and actor has now been arrested at a Mammoth ski resort.
Oh, Joel Osment, something like that.
All right, and finally, question number 5. Twitter, also known as X, has officially said that they are changing their DMs. They're getting rid of DMs and doing something else instead. What will they be doing instead of DMs on Twitter/X?
Chats, I guess.
Chats, you said?
Yeah.
All right. I'll accept that. Let's bring Allie and we'll score it together. Some of the stories happening in the world. Some bigger stories out there, probably. Some stuff involving tariffs, probably. But we cover what we cover, and maybe you'll learn a thing or two. Some people, and this is sad for the future of society, claim that they only get their news by waking up this morning with KROQ and listening to this.
Hello.
Allie, go to question number 1. You're battling, once again, Jose from Woodland Hills. Miller Lite is teaming up with this snack to create a beer-flavored or at least beer-inspired chip, which
it's got to be Doritos.
All right, he said Cheetos. Allie said Doritos. Both of you were not thinking as you should have because Miller Lite comes in a can. Which only chip comes in a can?
Oh, Pringles.
Pringles.
Wow.
0-0 start. We got a question number 2, and I am very much looking forward to the Miller Lite Pringles. Question 2. The 2025 Emmys has a new host, but it's a comedian, but who is it?
It is Nate Bargatze.
Nate Bargatze. Now, we used to have Nate on this show a while ago, and really, he was not a household name by any stretch of the imagination. We would have to spend most of the time letting everyone know who Nate was.
I know, and now he can sell out arenas.
He's maybe I think he is the most successful current comedian working, and he will be the new host of the Emmys, and he no longer returns our phone calls. So there you go. Question.
Rightly so. I think everyone's just biding their time in their careers until they can ignore
us.
Always
the goal. Man, we used to have such a great relationship with Nikki Glazer and Nate Bargatze, all the big ones, until they got big. We got a question number 3. Research has determined that this color of clothing is the most returned color for online shopping.
Yeah, I did read this, and I believe it's red.
He said yellow, but the correct answer is it looks great on the models, looks great on your screen, and then it shows up and you look like the Kool-Aid man. You're like, I cannot wear that, and it is red. Is the most returned color of clothing. We got a question 4. Allie's up by 2.
By the way, I can return any color.
El Cheapo will figure out a way to return it.
I return the whole rainbow.
Even if she's worn it for years. Question 4. This former adorable child star actor has just been arrested at a Mammoth ski resort.
Oh, that would be Haley Joel Osment.
All right, he gave us Joel Osment. I will accept his answer. I will accept yours as well. So Jose is on the board, and Allie, that is correct. And if I remember what he used to look like as an adorable child, he has definitely aged less adorable. His
Yeah,
mugshot
he was such a cute kid, and now he just looks like the same kid.
Yeah, he looks like J.D. Vance.
Yeah, he does.
We go to final question, and he's on the board, and it doesnn't really matter because Allie's got a commanding lead. Final question. DMs on Twitter or X are officially going away. And what will be they whoa, let me try that again.
Whoa.
Just cut some Omar right there. What will they be replaced by?
God, I saw this and I just didn't care enough to read it. Racism chats?
Racism. Oh, so close. It's actually called X chats. And you know what? Contestant Jose said chats. I will accept his answer as right. Final score, Allie beat you by a few, Jose. What must you shamefully admit over the airwaves with KROQ as she holds on to her $100, at least for now?
I'm Jose from Woodland Hills, and I'm looking forward to drinking Allie's pee from the river.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
We all are looking forward to drinking Allie's urine from the Colorado River, which is flowing to Los Angeles as we speak.
Should be making its way here today.
Oh, great. God, that is so gross.
It's got a filter.
Ugh, doesn't matter. There's not a strong enough filter in the world to not make me think about that if I drink any water today.
The
It's
first
KROQ.
night we had asparagus.
Oh, God. Show. That is us. If you are listening, that's great. If you want to watch us, we are streaming on YouTube as we speak. You can head over to KROQ's YouTube, and we are inching closer and closer to the 100K followers, subscribers on KROQ. Please, Repeat every other a-hole who's on YouTube. Smash that like button. Follow along so that we can get to 100,000 followers, whatever it is, and then potentially get that dumb plaque in the studio. That's what I was trying to say.
We're definitely earning it. Maybe we can say, hey, like OnlyFans models, like what do you want us to do?
Oh, right.
We'll do anything for some subscribers.
Send some double B-hole pics, Klein.
Thirsty. All right. You want to reveal the double B?
Hell yeah.
Double B.
The double B's, baby.
I think that'll get us launched right off of YouTube. But regardless, that's fine. If that's what the people want, the people will get what the people demand.
It'd be a great way to kick off our OnlyFans. Nobody has double buttholes.
That would be embarrassing to my family. And it's interesting when you do things that embarrass your parents. See, there's a time in your life where as a kid, you embarrass your parents. And then there's a shift where all of a sudden your parents embarrass you. And Jake has just informed us that he has entered a phase of his life now where he has become more of an embarrassment to his parents than his parents have become to him. And that is a weird shift.
Yeah. And I don't know if you can come back from that.
I don't know if you can. I'm just now in my life entering the phase where, like, my oldest daughter thinks that I am embarrassing to her. Dad, stop. Don't hug me. It's embarrassing. It's sad.
Are you going to cry?
That is sad, man.
I've accepted it.
She's like 6, dude.
Yeah, I know. I've accepted.
She's not even a teenager.
I know. They grow up too fast in this stupid town. But Jake is, Jake's a grown-ass man, and there's something about Jake specifically that is an embarrassment to his...
It's not really about me.
Well, it is about you.
Of course it is.
What are you talking about? It's not about you.
It's not me. It's my car.
Right. Your car is, in many ways, a reflection of you.
I think your car is the item that has the biggest reflection on you. The way you keep your car.
Yeah, you show me someone's car.
I would agree with that.
You show me the inside, how they're keeping it, how it's running, how many warning lights are on. It tells you a lot about the person.
Yes.
You can learn a lot about a person just on car alone.
I disagree. Because
good argument.
It gets to the point.
I disagree.
Point of order. I disagree because a lot of times after you had a car a long time in Los Angeles, it can get wore down and it becomes like a lost cause. Why keep up with it? Because it's just going to look like crap no matter what. And it's looked like crap for so long that it's really gone downhill. Like the hood is missing paint, the dashboard is coming apart. There's
this is
one
very
window
representative of your life,
tape.
man.
Yeah.
You live in a shack, dude.
Yeah, Jake, this car could not be a better reflection of you as a man.
What do you mean?
Well, the fact that you run into some kind of a problem that's inconvenient to you, like, for example, your window working, and you think to yourself, well, I could go to a mechanic and I could have them fix this, or I have this roll of duct tape.
Yeah, that's free.
Right. That's how you choose to make decisions and live your life. You duct tape everything.
Because it's already beat up. So why would I waste money on a car that's already beat up?
All your words are just proving our point.
Yeah.
Right.
You're saying that there's no reason for you to go...
invest in yourself.
Right, or to do it the right way.
It's not in myself. It's investing in a hoopty.
What did your mom...
But that your life is a hoopty. You're hoopty.
Hoopty Jake.
My life isn't a hoopty.
Hey, Hoopty Jake. Seriously, can I ask you a question? Because now you're in this weight loss journey, so you're like a new and improved svelte Jake. Maybe it's the time to start reinvesting in yourself in all aspects. But
great idea.
What did your mom and or dad say about your car that made you convinced that they're embarrassed about you?
Well, they were here for a day last weekend, and I, took them out.
Just a day?
One day?
That's only the only amount of time they want to spend with you?
How much time do you want to spend with Hoopty Jake? 2 days? No, way too much.
24 hours.
I guess that's a big sign, because they spent a week with my uncle.
Oh, my God, Jake.
All right, so they spent 1 day with you, so that was have to do it because we're his parents. I get it. But at what point did they, jog?
We drove out to dinner, and we took my car.
Did they jog alongside of it instead of getting in it?
Did they push it?
At one point, they had to help me push it to dinner. But no, we went out, and then a week later they called me like, "Hey, your mom and I have been talking, and we've decided we'll help you get a new car."
Oh,
wow, that's nice.
No,
very sweet.
You didn't ask them. This didn't come up where you said, "Hey, this thing's barely making it." It's they just completely unprompted. They said this to you, they had a whole conversation behind the scenes about how sad the car was, and they said we need to step in.
I mean, you could tell it's there's duct tape holding up the thing. Like I said, the dash is pushed in, and it's cracking apart and stuff.
Did you say anything when they were getting in or out of the car, you can't use that door, or please don't move that window?
Oh my God, when you have to do a little tutorial when
No,
they get in
yeah,
there,
yeah.
that's
Before
bad.
You gotta shake it a little.
I unlocked the door from the outside for them.
I need you both to sit on the left side of the car so that it balances
And
while
then
we
you gotta
drive.
jimmy the door a little bit, but also shriek
Right,
when you open it.
So you didn't give them any, you don't have rules right now? If someone gets in your car, there's no rules about it? Because I thought you had your...
Oh, I had a very long 4-minute drive with Jake on the way to the airport.
Oh, you in his car?
Yes.
Yeah, because I thought that he has a 2x4 holding up one of his windows.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in there. But I was also very overcome by the smell, so I just wanted to look forward.
Oh, really?
And get there.
Well, remember when Jake went in my car just on that drive to Big Bear? I mean, I had someone in my car a week later, and they said, what is the smell in here? They couldn't figure it out.
But I will say, this is a great opportunity for Jake because, he's had his car a long time, but a new car or even buying a used car is very expensive right now. It's just going to get more expensive. And I have lived my life the same way that Jake is, in the way that you don't replace something until your parent comes and goes, this is so sad, I'll just buy it for you. And then you go, great.
Well, the thing is, they're not buying it for me. It's going to be like a loan that I had to pay back, which I don't think I can afford.
Oh.
A loan to your parents?
Yeah.
I mean, I get it, but they're not going to shake you down or break your kneecaps over it.
They said, tell us what you can pay a month, which is not very much.
Right, I got it. Well, maybe we should take the new car that Johnny just got from Star Mazda and Star Ford and give
you
that.
Guys can share it
and give it to you instead. I'm sure Star wouldn't mind if we moved it on to someone else on the show.
Actually, Jake, I don't mind selling you my old car. It just needs like a new engine and like a new tires and.
Yeah, Johnny's old car wasn't working at all. If you remember, we tried to fix that thing for a while.
Yeah, but at least my car works. It drives. It just doesn't.
I'm sure.
And isn't this car the last one that your parents gave you?
Oh yeah, they gave me this car like 10 years ago.
Did you ever pay them back for that? Or?
No, they gave. Well, that one was just a gift.
What kind of car are you driving and what year?
It's a Mercury.
No,
it's a Lincoln.
It's a Lincoln.
It's a Lincoln.
MKZ. Fancy. Leather seats.
What year?
All power. 2007, man.
That's from 2000. I never would have guessed. 2000. I would have guessed, Allie, 87.
It is massive. It's just a massive boat car.
It's like driving a big couch.
And Jake,
it is.
when we put the decals all over the side of it, we wrapped it with your naked body when you lost last year's Force Resolution, and then we took that off. That ripped even more of the paint off of it. Is that correct?
I'm not sure about that. Most of the paint that's come off is from the hood. We didn't put anything on the hood.
Right. Okay. Great.
How many miles on the car?
100 and maybe 22,000.
Oh, it's not bad at all.
That's it, bro. You should probably invest and get it fixed up then.
Yeah, I think you should just get another roll of duct tape. Is what I think.
I think to me it sounds like it drives fine. It's just everything cosmetically is wrong with it.
Just like me.
Yeah, you know what? You know what we should invest in? Giving Jake's car a makeover.
There you go.
We need to Grand Theft Auto this thing. Bring it to the paint shop. Give it flames on the side.
On the phone.
Yeah.
Pimp is right.
Bring back a Pimp My Ride. We can put a fish tank in Jake's car.
It still has potential.
Yeah, get him air fresheners.
Yeah, well, I feel like Jake with our. We got one of those stupid Klein Alley Show badges. That'll cover one of the bad paints things, and then
we just put covered in badges.
We'll cover it in Klein Alley Show badges. That'll be great.
Every problem with it, we'll just cover with a badge.
Double the weight of the car.
If we get Bo Bach, I mean, there's so many people we know in the auto industry that I feel like we could very easily. Your car does look like garbage. I'll be honest.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
I don't even like parking next to it.
Yeah, but if you change some of the cosmetic parts of it, it seems like it's still got some good bones.
Yeah. Would you be opposed to some sort of a legitimate real deal? You have to trust us though. We'd have to take it from you for a week and do some stuff to it.
And we promise we won't put more naked photos of you on it. It won't be embarrassing.
Let's not promise that.
Okay.
Let's just contemplate it.
At least not on the outside.
Right. All right. We'll have
it's just all naked.
Have to take a break.
On the inside, yeah.
More show after this. See that, Jake? Don't you feel better?
Oh yeah, it feels great.
Klein Alley Show. KROQ.
KROQ.
If you Alley Show. Pleasure to meet you. Welcome to your pre-weekend. Weekend can officially or unofficially begin on a Thursday morning. We'll get your Disneyland tickets to you at some point this morning. Also get you into that just announced 30 Seconds to Mars one night only event happening at the Kia Forum. Jared Leto was on with us yesterday to talk all about it, and we'd love to get you into that show. It will be a one of one. There's only one of those shows happening, and that'll be the end of that. Before we get to your news, though, Allie, a message for you. As you know, Allie was missed a lot last week while she was finding herself on the river.
Hello, Sweet Divots. I called last week calling Klein an idiot and saying that he was just jealous of Allie. So apologize, Klein. You're not the idiot. Allie, you are the biggest idiot in the world. Are you kidding me? A Class 10 Rapid?
Allie did claim yesterday she survived Class 10 rapids while she was whitewater rafting on the Grand Canyon. And many people, many rapid enthusiasts that listen to our show said that that doesn't even exist.
They range from Class 1 to Class 6. Class 6 being death. You didn't do a Class 6 Rapid. Anyways, Sweet Divots, enjoy your poo buckets. Goodbye.
Thank you for the call.
You can say whatever you want.
You're not going to rain on Allie's parade. She's not going to argue with you about how big the rapids she rafted were.
The tour guides explained everything about how the classes of rapids in the Grand Canyon are different. And if you want to say I'm full of crap, then go ahead.
She's not full of crap. Her bucket is. Get it straight.
Yep. And the tour guides carried my crap.
Let's get into... That's really what you pay for on a trip like that.
Oh, yeah.
Forget about all the other stuff. That's the real money.
I don't want to carry my own crap.
Let's get into this news right now on KROQ. Then a brand new hour can officially begin.
Grab your Adderall. It's time for ADD News.
So yesterday was one of the best days ever, and I didn't even realize it. If you had a bunch of Zooms scheduled, those Zooms were canceled.
Great.
We all received the best email ever at around lunchtime yesterday from the head of IT saying Zoom is down across the nation. So aside from a few weirdos that are still using Google Meetup...
You know who those weirdos were? Some of my clients.
Google Meet?
Really?
I had 2 Google Meets yesterday.
Oh,
I was
God.
like, how could it not just be on Zoom?
Why does Google Meet work?
Seriously. I was so pissed off, man.
Remember that even weirder one that this company tried to get behind? This
my
company,
God, I know. And we had to download an app for it. I was like,
worst.
what are we doing?
Yeah, we're like, where are we meeting? And they're like, it's a new thing called, Hen House. And we're like, Hen House? What the hell are you talking about? The stupidest thing ever. They're like, listen, our company, we're not doing Zoom. We don't want to pay the upcharge.
Yeah, it was weird.
But they're
it was like Pop Portals or something.
We bought Hen House.
Yeah, we're the proud new owners of Hen House. Don't worry, in a few years it'll be as big as Zoom.
I know.
And we're like, what?
It's classic. Let's take something that was successful and create a crappier version of it and try to make that happen.
Yeah, they're like, come on, we're all going to meet at Hen House at noon. I'm like, I don't want to do that. I want to be a part of that stupid
Set
thing.
us your Bagok account. So the bad news is that it is back up and running, but thousands of people were unable to access the website. But I still think you can easily milk that excuse and bleed it into today.
Oh,
if
yeah.
you're smart about it.
Sure, why not?
I mean, oh no, I had to reinstall and I don't know what's going on. Ooh, Zoom. I mean, I feel like you could probably milk that till lunch today.
It's been 5 years since COVID, and I would argue 4 years since Zoom really, took off in popularity. But still, I don't think I've been on a Zoom call that's had more than 10 people that hasn't had at least 2 that pop in late with some sort of sorry, I had to re-download the software.
Well, they do that crap, though.
They do it. So I'm saying it's always a useful excuse.
Yeah,
always useful.
Do you think there's an app that's more used and equally as hated?
Definitely not Hen House, because that is a winning app right there. And our company went all in on Hen House.
Everybody uses it and everyone hates it.
Yeah, Zoom is pretty terrible. But I mean,
because he pinpoints the moment that was the most terrible moment for most people in history,
But on the flip side,
it brings you back.
Whenever you think you have, because the other day I thought I had to go to an actual doctor's office on the west side at 4 p.m., which means it would have been just terrible traffic. And then I found out after rereading the email, which I rarely do, it was a Zoom meeting, and that was actually a great one. Sometimes it does flip the other way. You're like, whoa, I can do this on Zoom?
Yeah, I know.
It just saved me 2 hours.
You're like, cool, I was going to be so late to that.
I was not going to make it at all.
All right, there's a special kind of drunk that you get at high altitudes, and if you've ever had the opportunity to get drunk at a ski lodge, you know what we're talking about. We've had those opportunities at Big Bear many times, but it can be dangerous. And for child actor Haley Joel Osment, it was. He was arrested at Mammoth for public intoxication and possession of a controlled substance. And before you go laughing at him and, making your jokes, he, I guess, is having a rough year. He lost his house in the Altadena fire, and according to TMZ, he's had his insurance denied. They denied his claim, so he's been having a really hard time ever since that happened. But in 2006, he was arrested for drunk driving and overturned his car and hit a mailbox. So obviously there's some history there as well. And I feel like with him, you can tell in his face, like he's got a drinking face. Some people just have drinking face.
Yeah. He's got
that swollen drinking face that you get after like years of hard work.
Also, I'm not going to say why people develop drinking. I don't even know if he's got a drinking problem or just a hobby, but I would imagine for an entire life to have people go up to him, poke at him, and go, "Hey, you're that kid from that thing."
Hey, you see dead people?
Yeah, right. Like at some point,
you see double now, don't you?
I wish I look in the mirror.
At some point, I think you just got to start drinking because that's got to just be. I know at the time it's it's the life you signed up for, but you're a kid and you get some success and make some money, and then for the rest of your life to constantly be.
Well, yeah, and I think he left and tried to leave acting, but then he ended up going to acting school and then coming back to LA, and it kind of seems like it's a tough gig to be famous that early.
He looks happy in the mugshot.
He does.
He
look
is
happy.
smiling in the mugshot.
He does look happy. So he's
that's
probably
because
drinking.
the controlled substance was kicking in.
Probably drinking one of them happy drinks.
All right, sleep deprivation is very familiar for most adults, but now I guess it's becoming more and more familiar for teenagers, and they are losing sleep over their screen time. So before bed, like all of us, you're doing some scrolling, you're doing some looking, and then that screen time is lingering in your brain, and it's harder for you to fall asleep, and teenagers need 9 to 10 hours of sleep a night. Most of them are now getting 6 or less, and they say now sleep-deprived accidents in cars for teen drivers is now a bigger issue than drunk driving.
Oh,
because they're so tired from... Right. And then all the stuff that they're looking at...
The world does not shut off anymore. There's no shut off. So you will just keep going, keep scrolling, keep zooming, keep Facebooking, keep messaging. It will never end. In fact, I thought I was ahead of it because for my kid, I shouldn't have a phone or any screen in a room, but I got one of those kid Alexas and thought to myself, I should listen to music.
Those are the ones that are like, hey, do you want me to tell you a joke?
Yeah, so I'm sleeping the other day. I wake up, I hear her having a whole full-on conversation in her room. I go in there, she's playing stupid Simon Says with Alexa at 2 in the morning.
Cool.
And I'm like, what's going on here? She's like, quiet. Alexa wants me to touch my toes. I'm like, oh my God.
At least it's her toes.
That's not Alexa. That's pervert out
Hey, I'm an Alexa. Let's play a game.
Hey, it's the guy from the corner. That's Haley Joel Osment. What's he doing here? That guy from the movies. All right, we'll get into a brand new hour of the show. We do it after this, and it will be a great hour, perhaps the greatest hour of your life. If you're sleep deprived, you've come to the right place. We are Klein Alley Show, KROQ.
Show.
106.7 KROQ FM in HD Pasadena, Los Angeles, Orange County. This is the world famous KROQ.
Good morning and welcome to your Frequent. It is Thursday. KROQ, we are Klein Alley Show. Pleasure to meet you. Some of you back to KROQ for the first time in a while because you heard the good news that Kevin Ryder returned. You know, it's sad the way the world works. You lose a legend like Jed the Fish, R.I.P. Jed, but then you get a legend back to KROQ like Kevin Ryder in the afternoons and doesn't waste any time bringing in his high-profile friends. Apparently yesterday afternoon you had Linkin Park hanging out here at KROQ, and you can see some of that footage up on the socials at...
and he also had this guest.
We've got Snooki. Wow. This guy's got everyone.
No, what a get,
He's
right?
going with all of his biggest best friends right out of the gate to let everyone know that he's back on KROQ. And I'll tell you one thing, the vibe just even through the halls here drastically improved. I mean, it's gotten so much better. Just even the excitement of, not that we've ever crossed paths with Kevin Ryder because we leave
Or
here.
will again.
Probably never see the guy again until one of us gets thrown out of here. But
we can feel the vibes.
in the meantime, great vibe, and it's a good time to be at KROQ. So thank you for finding us, rediscovering us, or potentially discovering us for the very first time. And we tell you there's lots of ways to get involved in the show. You can listen, you can watch. Sometimes it's overwhelming.
Come on. All right, everyone. I'm calling for two things. One, I can't do it all. I can't watch you live, can't listen to you live, and listen to the podcast.
We do say a lot. We say we're on YouTube now, we're on the radio now, and there's a podcast of the show. That's
It's too much.
asking way too much.
So what I do is I listen to the podcast in the mornings, and I have you on in my car.
Thank you.
I don't know. I just want to listen to you guys talk and not listen to music, so I'd rather just hear you the next day.
Huh.
So I do give you, I don't know, ratings by having it on in my car.
Not enough. You're not doing it enough. No one's doing it enough.
Don't shame
At
him.
one volume, because I'm scared if I have it at 0 volume, I don't know, you're not going to get ratings, but I know that if it doesn't work that way, like the louder it is, the more ratings you get. But
No, that's how it works.
That's exactly how it works. That is how it works. The louder the radio is, the more ratings we get. And if you're not listening to us on full volume, then we get no credit. Yeah.
Anyway, I have it at one volume just in case.
Thank you.
So I have it live in my car, but not listen to it, and I listen to the podcast. But I cannot also watch.
That's fine. You don't have to watch the YouTube as well. But if you want to see what things look like in here and how Allie's recovering back in society.
Not well.
Well, you put on makeup today, I think.
I did. Thank you for noticing.
Yeah, so that's nice.
And my best chapstick.
Okay, great. So we got that going for us.
Rose-tinted Vaseline.
Lots to get into this hour on the show. Omar shared with us that he is currently in the middle of a bamboozle. There's a man that is impostering him and scamming people out of money. We may have a crack in that case to get into later this hour. Also, we'll have some tickets for you to go see 30 Seconds to Mars, a one-night-only event. And before we get out of here this morning, we will send you to Disneyland for Star Wars night, May the 6th. Be with you at Disneyland in your future. That is all upcoming this morning. And if you need us, the phone's 800-520-1067 on KROQ. to get married at the courthouse here in L.A. before we got fake married in Mexico.
Oh, so your anniversary is your court one?
Well, it kind of changes based on in the year where our schedule is. Like, for instance, she's leaving town, so she will not be here for the, quote,
wedding day
anniversary. But as we found out, if you're going to get married in Mexico, you have to, like, go give blood. It's a weird thing. I don't know why. I guess they want to make sure you're not related. So if you ever choose to get married in Mexico.
Maybe it's because she was so much younger.
They force you to give blood to make sure she's not my daughter. So I got blood and she got a lolly, and then in Mexico so we found out that that was going to be a weird thing because you basically had to go find someone that would like draw your blood and then run it to make sure you guys were not related.
I don't even know the court date of the day I got married, so that's impressive that you know 2 of those dates.
Well, that's what I thought, and the plan was, and usually we're never on the same page, which is important. Communication is key in any good relationship. So like I will think we're celebrating on the first one, which is the court date wedding, and I'll wake up and give her a card or something, and she'll get all mad at me, and she'll go like, I didn't do anything today because I thought we were doing it next week when it's our anniversary.
Oh, married life.
Yeah, right. And I go, well, it doesn't matter. I said, just hold the card then for a week. Who cares? The same stupid thing. But this time, she opened the card, and I don't write anything in the card. I don't like cards. You know me. I'm very anti-cards. I wish
you don't like writing.
I hate writing too, but I think the whole greeting card industry. You know me, I'm a big fan of us getting rid of it once and for all. I think that the amount of dollars that are wasted because people feel obligated. I know Mother's Day is coming up now. It never stops. Valentine's Day. And you feel like a bad person if you don't run in and get a card and send it. But I don't think anyone's really doing it because I don't even think people get excited about it unless there's like something inside the card, a check, cash, a gift card. What's the point?
Okay, I would say for most things, yes. But if you are sending something to your partner, wouldn't it be an opportunity to reflect on your relationship and share your feelings for one another, especially if you feel like your relationship's in a good place?
If that were the case, Allie, then why would there, even in the anniversary section of the cards, there's like 2 options. They're not even good. Like it's such an you look at greeting card sections, it's like birthday, cumpleaños, birthday. There's barely anything for anniversary, and if you find one in that section, it's usually like to the happy couple, have a great anniversary, something I wouldn't even give, and then every once in a while you find,
that is weird to send an anniversary card to someone else,
right?
That's strange,
very strange. So there's only one thing there. Well, only one I even found that worked, and it was one of those, to my wall. And first of all, they have the funny one. It's like you fall asleep on the couch, and stupid joke poem
like
ones.
Ball scratching jokes.
Right.
Funny.
I would love the ball scratching joke. They didn't even have that. So then I just find the one left that it pretty much just has some big heartfelt message in there about how you complete me and you're the love of my life.
That's great. It takes off the weight off your shoulders, man. They do all the work.
Right. So I just.
And they write it in that fancy cursive?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it had like clouds and birds and stuff.
Then all you have to do is write Klein.
That's all I did. And I put in the envelope.
Write your last name.
That's all Omar's exactly right. So I signed Klein. I put in the envelope. I actually think I wrote her name on the front envelope.
Ooh, fancy.
And then not in cursive, in regular block letters. And then I gave it to her and I handed it. She opens the card. She reads it. And then she flips the card over like she's looking for more.
Oh.
And she goes, What did you write? And I said, well, that says everything I was thinking.
Uh-huh.
She goes, you weren't thinking any of this stuff. And she's right. I wasn't.
Yeah, you weren't.
So I said, well, they didn't leave me any room to
write.
There
were no ball scratching ones.
I said, there's no room left for me to write on the card. They took up all the card with their...
Your excuse was that there was no room?
Yeah, they took up most of the whole room. And then she shows, well, inside of the left of the card, there was blank, completely blank.
Oh, yeah. My wife will write the entire left-hand side will be a full-on note.
Well, I'm going to write an arrow pointed to what they wrote, which was much better and spelled correctly, and say what they said.
Well, you can even say, I found this card because it echoes what I think exactly, which is this, and then you kind of reword it. It doesn't matter. You're saying something that is making them feel good.
Even the fact I went out and did something that is so against my moral code, which is buying a card, should have been enough. And then she said, like, oh, you didn't write. And I said, well, what did you write? I started getting, well, what did you write in your card?
What did she write?
Well, actually, she I probably shouldn't say this on the radio. I'll say it. she gave me a card. It was a stupid. She found a better anniversary card than I did, but apparently,
is this sexual?
Was it a vagina scratching card?
It was not.
Oh, hilarious! I never can find those.
It had. It was like a dumb anniversary card, but she wrote on the inside, "If you can unscramble these letters, you can have it," and it said Joe Blob.
Oh. Wow, she really gets you. See, she went through the effort to do a stupid little word jumble for you and unjumble something that you love and want. So she knows you, and that was reflected in the card.
And I still can't unscramble it. But I'm going to figure it out eventually, and I'm going to get it.
I'm going to get a blob.
Hope it's a snack.
KROQ.
Get out your bunny ears at 9, noon, 3, and 6.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me.
We're stuffing your Easter basket with tickets to Disneyland After Dark, Star Wars Night, happening May 6th. Not only will you find the tickets, you'll find all kinds of happy at the Disneyland Resort. You'll even find a travel to a galaxy far, far away kind of happy. Keep listening to win. And happy K-Rockster from KROQ. Not a real holiday, but we aren't coming in that day anyway.
K-Rock.
At one point, a few months ago, Johnny was asked to speak at UCLA, and since then, the transfer rate at UCLA has reached an all-time high. He spoke to a class about what it's like to work here at KROQ, and not really sure how that happened. I think it was through a salesperson that said, let's just bring Johnny because he kind of looks like one of the college kids. Johnny gave a speech. I think he winged it for the most part.
Wung it. I wung it.
He wung it.
Yep.
It's UCLA guest speaker right there.
Yep.
And we said after we aired that audio on the show, if anyone's listening at any school and would like Johnny to speak to your students, give us a call. We'll send them there. And we shockingly heard from many schools, including a middle school in Pacoima, and Johnny really wanted to go there because he grew up in Pacoima.
Yep.
And he talks about it a lot. And, Allie, at some point during this, we're going to play this for you right now.
Before we play it, did they say anything to introduce you? Like, how did the teacher introduce you and say why you were there?
I'm pretty sure she just said, hey, this is Johnny Jericho. He's from the morning show on KROQ, and he's from here. And he's like you guys. And
oh, Johnny, you really milk that. Boy, does he bring up all the local Pacoima references to really try to relate with the kids.
But was the teacher like a listener?
Was it career day?
I knew my
what is the
what's the reason?
point?
I honestly don't know.
Was the TV broken at school? Or?
No, they had a really nice fancy projector, and I made a PowerPoint presentation that I didn't expect to work, but it actually worked.
You made a PowerPoint presentation?
Yeah, I have slides. I posted it on our Instagram right now if you want to see the goofy slides, and none of it makes sense if you look at it from afar.
Or up close?
It doesn't make sense when you listen to it either, because I've heard it. So here he is. This is Johnny. First, he starts by explaining his job, although he can't even explain his job.
So this is where I work, and I'm on the morning show. That's on from 6 to 10 in the morning, and let me tell you a little bit about myself and what I do. There you go. So this is kind of like what I do. I can't really explain what I really do.
So right out of the gate, he wants to explain what he does, but then he can't explain what he does. Okay. So then he moves on to the next part of his speech, Allie, and this is where he talks about his roots and how he's a local boy done right.
Really what we really do is connect with the community. And I know I probably don't look it, but I was born and raised and grew up here in Pacoima too.
So he's saying, you may not think it by looking at me, but I also am just like you. I grew up right here in Pacoima.
What about looking at you that they would say, there's no way he's from Pacoima?
Well, the teacher that brought me in, she said, it's great that we have somebody coming in and, don't be jarred at first, or don't be scared at first, because literally the kids... It's nice to have somebody come in that doesn't look like the kids. That was the whole point.
You look like the kids.
You look like every single kid you're talking to.
I'm probably not explaining right, but she said you kind of don't look like what they normally see on a daily basis.
What are you talking about? They're hanging around with people just like you.
And I told her too. I was like, it's a great thing I probably shaved my big blonde mullet that I had a year or two ago, because now I look kind of more normal than before, I guess.
I don't understand the point you're making, but this is Johnny.
Is this a part of the PowerPoint?
I don't know. This is Johnny.
By the way, there's a big PowerPoint with some guy brushing his teeth.
Yeah, why is there...
Yeah, that's called brain rot, guys. On TikTok, you know when you see boring videos, you like see them playing a video game or Subway Surfer?
Right now.
Yes, brain rot is the theme of the speech right here. Here is Johnny explaining why he knows the kids better than they know themselves.
I live right across the street from Beachy. I'm going to go shopping at El Super every Sunday with my grandma.
You know, like when bands come to a city and they make a local reference so that the city's like, yeah, they get us.
Fort Worth, I love your barbecue.
Right. Oh, these kids are like, what the hell are you talking
Johnny's
about?
just mentioning restaurants they drive by every day, and they're not impressed. As you can hear,
They were engaged. They were listening. They actually shut up and listened during my all the time. My grandma went to school with Richie Valens. Does anybody know who Richie Valens is?
This is when he starts.
Richie, bro. You don't know Richie Valens, bro.
Yeah.
This is when he starts his question
Look,
answer.
Allie doesn't know who Richie Valens is. She's like, who the hell is Richie Valens, bro?
Ah, La Bamba, come on.
Yeah, come on.
No, I'm not saying I don't know who he is, but it's
Sing the song, go.
It's also like, why are you just trying to get cool with the kids?
I'm trying to tell them, like, look, there's people, prominent figures who have made it out of this neighborhood who grew up and raised here.
Prominent.
Machete, yeah, Richie Valens, Machete, Danny Trejo himself.
About yourself.
Right.
Oh, no, not myself.
So here he is. This is when he does the asking. Everything ends with a question to try to relate with the audience. Listen to this. He goes through a little streak here. It's funny.
Does anybody know who Richie Valens is? Yeah, of course you do. Yeah, you gotta know Richie Valens. I used to work at the Costco down the street. You guys like Costco, right?
Everything has become. Everything he mentions now follows up with a question, and he's trying to keep the kids engaged, and he claims they are, but listen, they don't sound it. Here, moving on.
Okay. I was working at Costco and a golf course. I had 2 jobs. Does anybody here have parents that have 2 jobs?
Oh my God!
She told me. She's like, all these parents and stuff. These kids have parents, whatever.
Does anyone have parents?
They have parents that work multiple jobs and stuff, so they don't ever see their kids. That was the point.
Does anyone know what a parent is? Who knows what a parent is? All right.
Maybe 3 jobs? No jobs, huh? Okay. So. These are some like 3 quotes. No, they were laughing because I said whose parents have no jobs, and a lot of kids actually raise their hands.
Now Johnny now decides to really try to inspire the children. He brought 3 quotes that inspire him. I don't know if you read these on the way in.
Yes, these are great quotes. I learned these from you guys, actually.
I don't think we've said any of these things. Listen to this.
These are some like 3 quotes that literally they'll tell you.
These are some like 3 quotes.
I think even the middle schoolers know that that's not the right grammar.
These are some like 3 quotes. It's the greatest way to get into a quote ever.
I was cooking in my brain. I wasn't really thinking. But
we should print that out as a quote and write it on our door.
These are some like 3 quotes as said by Johnny Jericho at Pacoima Middle School.
These are some like 3 quotes that literally they'll tell you. And that
they'll tell you.
Hold on, wait, get to the quote. Get to the quote.
Aren't you reciting the quote, man?
That literally they'll tell you, and that have resonated with me greatly.
Oh my God! Oh my!
I was getting a dry mouth at this point.
Here's the quote.
Does anyone else know words?
These are some like 3 quotes that resonate me. Oh, you got to pull that whole quote and put that. I want that quote put on everything. Pillows, everything. Here we go.
Whatever it is, it's terminal.
Here's quote number 1.
A closed mouth doesn't eat. That's facts. That's facts, bro.
Where did you read that?
That's applicable in everything.
Now, you said that we told you that. We never said that. No one on the show has ever said that to you.
Yes.
And I guarantee you Jake didn't say that because he eats a lot.
No, I think one of the bosses actually told me that.
Said a closed mouth never eats?
One of the bosses?
Yeah.
In what situation?
When they said they were not...
kind of like...
So open up, baby.
Their pants? Yeah.
If you want this job.
You want to eat? Let me feed it to you.
These are wise word quotes.
Hey, Johnny.
Was it K-Dub or who was that, man?
A closed mouth never eats. Here we go.
You want me to explain what you do? I'll show you.
Hey. Oh, God. Man,
you don't look like you're from Pacoima.
I feel like that is something that needs to be brought to HR immediately. All right.
Highly problematic. Okay, what are
closed mouth doesn't eat. You're not going to get anywhere in life if you don't speak up.
Handle this hog.
If you don't swallow.
Speak up. You don't ask. Be brave and be bold, and the mighty forces will come to your aid.
The Mighty Forces. Are you in a Star Wars movie now?
I actually stole that from that movie, Almost Famous.
Okay.
But it works.
Yeah, but once again, these are not quotes any of us have ever said to you.
Okay. With anything. school, work, anything in life.
Great examples.
Those are the only schoolwork.
That's all they've done in life. They're
All
like
of
14.
the in-between ones.
And it's always better to ask for forgiveness than permission.
Okay.
So if you're thinking of doing something devious or something that you know is daring, but you know it's going to have a really great outcome, just do it. I swear. Just literally do it.
Just do it. That's a good quote. We are Klein Alley Show. Coming up Disneyland. Even before that, we get you into 30 Seconds Tomorrow's One Night Only at the Forum, and who knows what else you'll win just by listening to the show. Yesterday, we found out that our very own DJ Omar Khan is involved in a bamboozling of his own, where his wedding business, you can find all out about DJOmarKhan.com. Many listeners have used Omar at weddings and quinceañeras,
I've
parties.
been to an Omar DJ wedding. It was a blast.
Allie has recommended Omar. She's been to parties that Omar's DJ'd before. And we've tried to get Omar to DJ our own show events, but we can't afford him.
Yep.
He's too expensive for our own budget here on the show.
Right.
But the reality
By
is...
the way, I got something cooking that you guys might be interested in for the summer, so
I'll
keep tuned out.
All right. I'm interested. But
Yeah.
then we found out that Omar claims...
It'll be like a Friday night residency down by the beach.
Okay.
What? Is that real?
Is that a real thing or a scam thing?
Are we talking to real Omar
It's a
Khan?
real thing.
Well, hold on. There's a guy that claims on the phone right now that he is the fake Omar Khan, because what we found out yesterday is that Omar has been meeting with people, and people claim, I've already given deposits to you for events. And Omar's like, you haven't given me anything.
Yeah, well, he was corresponding with somebody who had been corresponding with the fake DJ Omar Khan. And while we were talking about it, another listener called in and said, I full-on hired fake DJ Omar, and he never showed up to my event.
There's a fake, we were calling him Fomar Khan or Omar Khan. Hello?
Hey, is this Klein Alley Show?
Whoa. Yes, it is.
I hear you guys were talking about me.
Yeah, we have been talking about you. This is fake Omar. You sound just like Omar Khan.
This is the other DJ, Omar Khan, spelled C-O-N.
Cool.
Oh, man.
Wow.
Oh, man.
So cool. Omar, I mean, you must be so upset. This guy is really stealing your money, stealing your business.
Of course I'm upset, dude. It's not me, and he's reaping my reward.
And he sounds
I will
awesome.
take your money, but I will not play your wedding event.
Wow.
Oh, man, he's admitting it.
That's cool.
Dude.
Hey, I like this. I actually, just in the few seconds we've done this dumb bit, I actually like fake Omar Khan, I think, better than real Omar Khan. Because he's more concise, Allie. Have you noticed that?
What?
Yeah, no offense.
What?
No offense, Omar, but he's a little bit more
How
succinct.
dare you, dude? What the F, man? Don't take it so personally, Omar. I'm just doing what you would have done if you had thought about it first.
Whoa, throwing shade at the real Omar.
I would never do that.
That's kind of great if you think about it. I mean, this guy's figured it out. He's like you, Omar, but he doesn't stutter like you stutter. You know, he's just he's a guy that he doesn't.
Right.
You're like.
I get it.
You're stuttering as you say this, Klein.
Yeah, well, I mean that's because real Omar Khan. I caught Omar. That's why I like fake Omar.
I get paid all of your money and don't have to work even a single minute.
Oh.
It's pretty genius if you think about it. Don't be so mad. You'll probably start stuttering again like one of those old CDs you play at your actual DJ gigs.
Burn.
Dude, real Omar,
Son
what
of a
do you
bitch.
think? He's
Don't throw
coming at you about your
shade
CDs?
on that CD, man. Those CDs are great.
Don't throw Don't throw Omar just tried to stutter there. Hey, fake Omar Khan, you don't stutter at all?
You know what I always say? Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, and if Peter Piper could pick peppers better than any pickled pepper picker, how many pickled peppers did Peter Piper pick?
Wow.
Damn.
No stutter even a little bit. Omar, you try that one too.
Oh, God. No thanks.
Come on. Real Omar, let me
Come on,
hear you
Peter
try.
Piper.
Come on.
You can do it.
This guy just
Peter
crushed.
Piper picked a pepper down by the river. I'm not sure how it goes.
Can't do
Down
it.
by the river.
Hey, I want to get to know you. Fake DJ Omar Khan that's been stealing real Omar Khan's money. What's your deal?
I'm just a regular guy. I have a great relationship with my father, and my mom has very small, perky nipples.
Oh, my God. You're like the opposite of our Omar.
Wow, other universe.
My mom
Omar.
has giant areolas.
Yeah, a real Omar's mom has sand dollar nipples, he said, or silver dollar nipples.
Yeah, I know, but fake
Yeah.
Omar has tiny perky ones.
And you know your dad really well. That's so cool that you're like living the exact opposite life of
Son of
our
a bitch.
Omar. Wow.
I am a professional speaker,
Oh.
voted least likely to develop a stutter in high school.
Oh, beautiful.
I've also slept with dozens of women and never kissed a guy or wore mascara.
Oh, my God. Our Omar's done all that
He
stuff.
is the opposite of me.
Actually,
Yeah,
I'm
for
out
sure.
now on fake Omar.
I like fake Omar. Hey, fake Omar, if you're interested, I mean, no offense, real Omar, but
Yeah.
this guy seems like he's got all the things going for him that you don't have. And he's been with a lot of women. Our Omar's only slept with one woman.
I know, you can hear it in his voice that
True.
he's experienced.
Confident, professional speaker. It's really amazing.
Yeah.
Anything else we should know about you, fake Omar?
And one more thing, I really love Postmaster Johnny and think he's a hardworking guy.
Oh, beautiful.
Legend.
Wow. Our Omar doesn't like
Johnny's a
Johnny
big
at all.
D-bag.
Yeah, our Omar doesn't like Johnny at all. Huh? That's amazing.
Johnny,
Well,
you want to go hang out with fake DJ Omar Khan?
fake DJ Omar Khan said nice things about you, dude.
Fake DJ Omar Carr never treated me so better.
Yeah, well said. You are. That is. I wish we had scripted that.
Fake Omar Khan, what is that it?
No, I don't think so.
And I'd like to be personal friends with him.
Wow, listen
Oh
to that.
man, I like this Omar Khan already.
That's cool. Well, you have a chance. Listen, we do a lot of show hangs. The show's always out hanging out in the real world together, fake Omar Khan.
Show hang. Man, I'd like to go to all of those.
Wow, that's crazy. Because real Omar Khan doesn't come to any of those.
Yeah, I know.
I'm very busy.
He's very busy. He's got a million jobs, but DJ Omar Khan, the fake one,
Fake
he's
one.
got all
He's
kinds
got all
of
the time in the world because he doesn't work.
Yeah.
He just reaps the reward without putting any effort in.
He sounds fun.
What would be more fun than hanging out with all of you guys outside of the show?
Yeah.
Wow. That's exactly the opposite of how real Omar
Yeah, 'cause
thinks.
that sounds terrible for me.
But fake Omar Khan, you're right. We do hang out.
By the way, can you add me to the group text thread? I have some really funny memes I want to send.
Funny.
Oh my god!
You know, real Omar Khan doesn't. He actually took himself out of the group
That's
text.
true.
I like
Multiple
this.
times.
Yeah, multiple. I like
Yeah.
this fake guy.
Once again, book me for your weddings and bat mitzvahs at djomarkhan.org.
Oh, so
That's
cool.
how he's doing it. It's the .org effect.
It's a non-profit.
All right. Well, thank you, fake DJ Omar Khan. I'm glad we got to the bottom of this bamboozling.
I have to go. I have a woman on the other line who wants to book me for this weekend for $10,000.
Wow.
And even though she is attractive, I will not comment on her physical body. Have a wonderful day. May God be with
Tell
you
me about her
all.
Hooters. Come on.
Hey, I like that guy. Hey, that's fake DJ Omar Khan. What a great guy.
Respects women.
Respects
He's a smooth
women.
talker.
He's getting paid good money.
Never worked a day in his life.
I like him. Well,
I like
Omar, you've been upgraded. Fake Omar
right.
Khan. This is KROQ. K-Rock. We are Klein Alley Show. Hire that man, many people saying on the text line. Fake DJ Omar Khan, spelled C-O-N, is a better employee clearly than real DJ Omar Khan. Here's a question, because this is getting a lot of attention now, and as we are officially heading into wedding season, great time to hire DJOmarKhan.org.
Yes,
but also,
hey,
but
not
also,
org.
but also. There's a woman who's taking a lot of heat now because she has decided on her bridesmaids based on her group of friends that were the less attractive of her friends. She did not want to have her more attractive friends, quote, outshine her.
That's interesting, because I would imagine that choosing attractive bridesmaids is a flex. Like, look how hot all my friends are. And also me.
Yeah, but I guess the thought is, if you're looking at these pictures later and everyone goes, the bride is the 7th hottest person in this picture, you're not going to feel great about yourself.
Who does that?
Apparently women, and there is something going on right now where, and I'm sure...
You think it's really women?
Well,
apparently women, am I right?
According to this story that's gotten a bit of traction through Reddit, which, you have to question everything you see on Reddit, also
right.
Like on Daily Mail. It's like, yeah, okay, it was there, but does that mean it's real? This bride has gone under fire for picking, quote, ugly bridesmaids because she said, quote, you don't want to be outshined. And as a result, you got to pick the people that are not photogenic. And even some people that may be attractive. There are people that are good looking in real life, but they just are not good in pictures.
Or they're not good dressed up.
That's true, too.
There are some people who are naturally very hot, but if you put them in one of those ball gowns and do their hair up, they actually look worse. But my mistake was that I made my sister my maid of honor.
Oh.
So she was sitting the closest
Camera
to me.
loves
She
her.
was right next to me. The photographer, only pictures of my sister.
And she was smart because she put you right next to her for her pictures, and she looked even better.
I know.
She shined in both those pictures. I mean, really, she did.
Yeah.
I think they put her on top of the cake at your wedding.
No wonder she got married 3 times.
So every single one of them, according to this the bride, said...
I wonder if the bridesmaids were all same level of friends. Because if they are same level of friends, then I don't think I would have an issue with it.
If you're making the only decision you're making as to where they stand is who is you want the less attractive or the ones that are a little bigger than you to stand next to you.
I mean, it is her day, right?
I do know people that have done this in like dating profile pictures before, because a place that you would never want to be outshined by a better version, a hotter version, is when someone's like deciding if they want to date you or not, and then they got to figure out which one are you in the pictures, and you don't ever want to be. Oh, you're that one. You don't want that reaction.
Sometimes if you're at a bar and you're with a group of hot friends, even if you're the least attractive person in that group, more people are going to come up to you because you're with hot people. So hot people do have a benefit as well.
You keep telling yourself that, Allie?
I have talked to people because they come up to people like my sister and my cousin, yes.
And then you're like their bouncer?
Well, yeah, when we all went to Vegas for that bachelorette party, I was with a group of very hot women, or 13 of them, and I was allowed in a lot of places that I would have not been allowed into otherwise.
Because you were holding their coats?
Yes. No. I was holding their little clutches.
Hold all the hot coats. This woman claims that you'll understand when it's your wedding. You don't want people who will outshine you in your own pictures. And since she was asked, so you picked them because you think that they'll make you look better. And she basically said, it's not that deep. I just want to feel confident that day. And I'm allowed to be a little selfish on my wedding.
But then
and if that means I'm picking my, quote, uglier friends to stand around me when I take my pictures, and it makes me feel more confident because I look to the left and I look to the right and I go, of these 3 people that are in this tight shot, I'm the best looking one. And that's a weird way to look at life, but perhaps on your wedding day, I mean, I know women get all mad if someone else shows up in a white dress, right? They get all angry.
That's a ridiculous thing. Why would somebody else show up in a white dress to a wedding in general?
I don't know. Feels like that's a normal thing, especially a summer wedding. A lot of people wearing white.
But I think that in this case, is there a hot friend who's a very good friend that is being ousted because of their hotness? You know what I mean? Like, does this girl have just an innocuous group of friends that are a mixed level of attractive, and she's just picking the ugly ones, and then the hot ones are like, what the hell, I'm your friend, and now I'm being not only invited, but I'm being, maybe even seated in the very back in the seating assignments to make sure that I'm unviewable from all angles.
Right, like has it happened where you think that you're so attractive, where you have some of those giant, like almost cartoon big boobs that everyone's constantly looking at, so they're like, we don't want that table anywhere near where we're cutting the cake because all the focus will be on that over there, so they move her to a corner. Maybe that happens.
The cake.
I don't think guys think like that. Maybe they do. I guess if women can, guys can as well.
Yeah, of course.
I should have thought about that. I mean, I understand in theory it makes sense, right? Like if I was taking a picture with a bunch of guys that are all 6'3", I wouldn't want to be the guy that's in the middle and look incredibly short compared to all these other guys.
But the photographer can give you a little platform.
Right, sit on one of them step stools.
Yeah. And do these friends know that they were chosen because they're ugly?
Yeah, like someone says, I didn't think we were that close, but then I realized after looking in the mirror why she picked me to be the bridesmaid. So anyway, the story's getting some heat, but I was just curious if in real life, in any way, shape, or form, have you ever experienced either side of this, right? Where you either
were the duff or picked the duff.
Right. Pick someone because it would make you look, maybe it was taller or thinner, or maybe you're a guy you didn't want to be, maybe you're thin hair, so you picked balder friends to stand next to you. I'm just curious, did that ever really happen in real life? 800-520-1067. KROQ, hi, Michelle. What's up? Michael.
Hello?
Hey.
Yes.
What's up?
So, yeah, my sister actually wore white to my wedding.
Was that like an FU to your wife, or was there a reason behind that, or she just wasn't thinking?
It was. She claims that she wasn't thinking and that she didn't know, but I know well right that all women know you should never wear white to another person's wedding. So, interesting enough, my wife's family confronted her in what ensued as an all-out family brawl that ended our wedding short.
Cool.
So, yeah.
Were there like
Don't
punches
wear
thrown and
white to
stuff?
somebody's wedding. Yeah, my wife's cousin approached my sister in the restroom and, pretty much assaulted her, given that we had an open bar and people had been while drinking.
Yeah, I was at one wedding that turned into a brawl because they had to kill time before the dinner thing could start, so they had like a 4-hour happy hour, and everyone was just so hammered.
4 hours?
Yeah,
That's
went on
so long.
Open bar, 4 hours, and I don't think there was any sort of a
Past appetizer?
No pass, so people were just throwing them back,
Oh,
and by the
man.
time they let everyone in, everyone was hammered, and it got into a brawl. It was kind of a cool thing to witness.
I know,
I've
that
seen
sounds
brawls, but
exciting.
always at the end, not at the
I
beginning.
know. Well, you go through a 4-hour drinking, and you get a
And
brawl.
then a brawl, and then you have to sit down at a dinner.
I'll tell you, I think that's the best time
Pass
to
the butter.
enjoy. Best time to enjoy a prime rib is after a good brawl. That's what I said.
that's beautiful.
Yeah, we have to take a quick break, but the question that was asked a moment ago is: do you ever feel that you are invited to stand by someone, be it wedding or otherwise, because you are physically unattractive and they want you to be near them so they look better? It's a great way for them to look better without actually having to do anything to be better.
Yeah, which I think that this whole thing is probably not real. I don't think people actually do this.
I think you don't need that. People are weird, and people are, especially as this one bride claimed, it's my day to be selfish, so I'm going to be as selfish as I can be, and that is how I am selfish.
That's how you should think of life.
That's how some people think about that day. We take a quick break. We're back with more show next, and as soon as we get back, we'll give you those tickets to see 30 Seconds to Mars. It's very exciting. Get those emo feels out all over the place. One night only at the Forum, and we get you in next.
Klein Alley Show.
You know, I'm on board for most things we do on the show, even if it makes me look like a total ass. But in this particular case, I'm not that excited that I was selected as one of the 2 most tone-deaf people on the show. Not that I care about being a good singer. I didn't go to school for singing like Allie did.
I also didn't go to school for singing.
I thought you went to musical theater school.
I went to acting school.
Oh, really?
I didn't get into musical theater school.
Oh. Well, anyway, and I know Jake thinks he's like the star of every karaoke bar he goes into because he's got his go-to songs, and he is the lead singer technically of the short-lived band Rip Nasty.
Yeah, but I think Jake always sings obscure songs at karaoke that no one really cares about.
Right. Well, no one would know if it's good or bad because no one's heard the song before. Because
Exactly.
it's the side project of the cousin of the guy in A Perfect Circle or
That's
something.
a good band.
Right. And then you got, Omar, who's clearly musically inclined because we all heard how he slayed the clarinet during Forced Resolution. So you're down, and Johnny's a musician, plays guitar. So really, just process of elimination.
You're the least musical out of all of us.
Well, I think we'll prove you wrong in a few moments when you hear me attempt to sing songs. Most of these songs I had never even heard before. Most of the ones you told me.
These are not just KROQ songs. We wanted to go beyond that.
I don't think any of them are KROQ
We
songs.
chose top 40 #1 songs that have been nominated for Grammys, songs that people are obsessed with right now.
So we call this thing Tone Deaf for Deftones, up for grabs, pretty sweet prize. You will get to go see the Deftones at the Kia Forum this Thursday, and one person who wins tickets from us, and I believe today is the last pair. People won them all weekend, and we gave a pair away yesterday, a couple pairs we got today. Do we have 2 pairs today, Vanessa, to give out?
Yes, 2 pairs.
Oh, even
Nice.
better. Wow. the plot thickens. 2 pairs of tickets.
We can do this again next hour.
Oh, goddamn. I don't think you're going to want that. You'll also get a chance to meet the band, score some VIP merch as well. So it's time for Tone Deaf for Deftones.
How was your process of learning these songs and then singing them?
Well, I listened to the songs a few times yesterday, and my kids, for the first time ever, respected me because they're like, I love that song.
Oh, see, you're getting into their interest.
I don't want to say what it is. I don't want to give anything away. And still, I feel like I have no connection to the music. But you'll hear in a moment. And let's go ahead and say hi to Camille. We'll get to go first on KROQ. And Camille, hey, good morning and apologies in advance, Camille.
Hi, good morning.
All right.
It's okay.
I'm going to play you some of the song, and all you have to do is tell us, even though I am tone deaf, what song I am attempting to sing. If you get yours right, Allie will write your name down, and everyone who gets theirs right will be in the drawing to win some tickets to see the Deftones. Here we go. Song number 1. I'm having wicked dreams of leaving Tennessee. Can you guys not laugh? Hold on. Can I?
Oh, no, let him finish.
Hold on.
Let him finish.
No, we don't need to hear anymore. She already guessed.
No, come on.
Hold on. I'm having wicked dreams of leaving Tennessee.
Are you doing a Dracula impression?
I know. Why are you lowering your voice? It's already so much lower than hers.
I thought that's...
You said because she's gay. I'm having wicked dreams of leaving Tennessee.
I thought that's how it goes.
This is how...
All right, relax.
She sees the baby girl.
I'm having wicked dreams of leaving Tennessee. Here, Santa Monica, I swear it's calling me. Won't make my mama proud. It's gonna cause a scene. She sees her baby girl. I know she's gonna scream. God, what have you done? You're a pink pony girl, and you dance at the club, oh mama. Camille, congratulations. You were able to figure out my tone deaf singing, and you did.
Let's play a little of the original so you can get kind of like an A and B. Let's.
I'm having wicked dreams.
Same.
of leaving Tennessee. You Santa Monica. I swear it's calling me.
All right, pretty good.
I like how you do jazz hands when you get to the top note.
You can't tell the difference. I mean, I know, like most people that have heard her version, that's the one they know. But if you were to play this to people in the streets, they would think that's her.
Oh, mama.
Who is that, by the way? Who's singing that?
Huh?
Who is that?
What?
Chappelle Roan?
Oh, thank you. Okay, got it. Thank you. All right, good job.
You knew
Hold on.
that. Come on.
I know. I thought that was I don't want to say who I thought it was because I have a song coming up from the other person.
You're getting them all mixed up.
I get them all confused. All right, hold on. Well, this is going to be painful.
It's a pure joy.
I just want to say that if you remember yesterday, Vanessa did Tone Deaf for Deftones, and I thought she was way more tone deaf than me.
No.
Are you sure about that?
Yep, 100. I wasn't sure, but after hearing that, yes, I'm 100% certain that you're actually tone deaf. I just don't know if you know any of the notes that exist.
Thank you.
In music, period.
Or otherwise.
Let me say hi to Rigo in El Monte. Hey, Rigo, good morning. Welcome to KROQ. Chance for you to win some Deftones tickets, but we're not making it easy for you. How goes it?
Good morning. I'm doing great. Thank you.
All right. Did you know the first song by chance? Not that it matters.
I didn't. I thought we were going to be guessing Deftones songs. I was like, I got this, but
that would make sense.
That would make sense. I would have much rather sung Deftones songs, especially because people think I look like the front man in the Deftones. Some people have said that before. It's one of my celebrity doppelgangers. All right, here we go. Song number 2. It's Tone Deaf for Deftones. Apologies in advance. Here we go. Well, I'm gonna paint my picture. Paint myself in blue and red and black and gray. All of these beautiful colors are very, very meaningful.
I don't even know what the hell. What?
Rigo? Any guesses?
What the hell?
Any guesses? Rigo.
What happened to Dracula?
Change it up. I was not inspired.
Wow, oh my God, I've never heard that song.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, you know that gray is my favorite color. Mm-hmm. I felt so symbolic yesterday. If I knew Picasso, I would buy myself a gray guitar and play.
I don't know, is that Taylor Swift?
Is
It's a good guess.
Taylor Swift? No, it is not. I'm so sorry, Rigo. That was
very
the
supposed to be
poetic.
singing?
Yeah, it was singing.
I think you're just yelling.
You're like talk.
That
Something
was
or
singing.
other.
I would buy a guitar and I would play.
Well, it's called Tone Deaf for Deftones, and
It
now you're
sounds like
making fun
slam poetry a little bit. Yeah.
of slam
You're a
poetry.
hip cat.
Symbolic. I felt symbolic yesterday. I would buy Picasso. Hey.
If I knew Picasso, I would buy myself a gray guitar and play. Mr. Jones and me look into the future. That's Counting Crows.
What?
That's Counting Crows. Yeah, we stare at the beautiful women. She's looking at you. I don't think so. She's looking at me.
Whoa.
You're a fan of this band, and you don't even know how it really goes?
That is how it goes.
But now that I know it's them, I can hear your passion.
Yeah.
Because I can tell you like the song.
Yeah, play it.
I'm going to play a little snippet of it.
All right, thank you. It's same song. Well, it's something.
Okay, you don't have any of those notes, man.
Well,
Oh my god.
that guy's the lead singer. I'm not. So he's not playing Tone
Yeah,
Deaf
but
for
even the
Deftones.
cadence could have been right.
Seriously. Even the rhythm of
It sounded like a David Bowie song.
it look
Thank you. Thank you. I'll take that as a compliment. David Bowie's great. Tony, Costa Mesa. Deftones on the line. Tone Deaf for Deftones. You ready for your next one?
Got it. Let's do it.
people on the text line did get that.
I
Mr.
know.
Jones by Counting Crows.
I'm watching the text line. People say this is the best Klein's ever sounded, which is also not saying much.
I know the songs that you're singing, and I still couldn't guess the song.
All right, well, let's try this one then. These are hit songs according to Allie. This is hold on, we lost Tony. Hold on, let me say hi to Ivan. We'll give Tony a chance next if his phone gets better. Hey, Ivan, Long Beach, you ready to go?
I am.
All right, here we go. Here's your next song. It's Tone Deaf. Apologies in advance. Tone Deaf for Deftones. This is apparently a very popular song. Here we go. Well, good for you. I guess that you've been working on yourself. I guess that therapist I found for you, she really helped. Now you can be a better man for your brand new girl.
Oh, man, I'm not sure what this is right now.
Same. It sounds like you're singing from a musical.
Well, good for you. You look happy and healthy. Not me, if you ever cared to ask.
No, I have no idea what this is, you guys. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
It sounds like you're doing a terrible version of...
Klein Alley Show. 30 Seconds to Mars and you. Caller 20, hello, who are you?
You know what I always say? Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled
Oh.
peppers, and if
Fake.
Peter Piper could pick peppers better than any pickled pepper picker, how many pickled peppers did Peter Piper pick?
That's fake DJ Omar Khan, but you're not able to win for some reason because you're a scam artist. But thank you for calling and once again rubbing it in Omar's face that you speak without a stutter. We're all very proud. Let's say hi to the real caller 20 now, which puts us on Dia. Good morning, Dia. How you doing? Congratulations. Enjoy yourselves in 30 Seconds to Mars. You will be at the Kia Forum for the one-night-only event to celebrate the 20th anniversary of the most emo album of all emo albums. Hold on one second, all right? Thank you.
Oh, she just lost all the excitement.
You used way too much
Hold on,
excitement,
okay?
way too
She's
soon.
just listening.
I get it. Now, I'm glad. You seem happy, and I'm glad you won. Hold on one second. You'll have more chances to win those tickets from us tomorrow here at KROQ. And those tickets officially go on sale Friday, although the pre-sale, I think, is already underway. So there you go. Let's get into your news now, then a brand new hour of the show, complete with some Disneyland tickets for you to go enjoy some Disneyland After Dark with Star Wars nights. But first this.
Grab your Adderall. It's time for ADD News.
Well, we know the Oscars host next year will be Conan again. The Golden Globes will have Nikki Glaser again. But the Emmys host will not be a repeat. Last year, Dan and Eugene Levy hosted, and the ratings were up 54% when they hosted. But this year, or next year, I guess, they are going in a different direction with Nate Bargatze. And they're probably thinking, hey, Nikki Glaser's a great comedian. She crushed it. She got the ratings up. Maybe Nate will do that for us. Of course, he is the top earning comedian, and he has sold more than 1.2 million tickets in 2024. So he already commented on it, saying it's a huge honor to be asked to host such an iconic award show, and I'm beyond excited to work with CBS and create a night that can be enjoyed by families around the world. And I understand that he is a hot ticket and he's a great comedian. I worry that he's a little too nice.
Very nice.
He's very nice.
And by the way, not fake nice, not fake Hollywood nice, where behind your back he's a dick, but real nice, nice to your face, nice
You know,
behind
I
your
like
back.
Nate, but yeah, you know what made him, threw him into the limelight was that special they released during COVID, right? And that was so funny. And then every special they released since then has not lived up to that one.
Well, I think the key, and I wouldn't know this because, Allie and I are not by any stretch of the imagination, quote, successful, but I think the key is you must be likable. And if you're likable...
He does have that, for sure.
Yeah, but Joe Coy was likable, and then everybody hated his Golden Globes.
Because Joe Coy made a big mistake when he started hosting the Golden Globes, and that is he became unlikable quickly by starting to kind of...
Oh, he was attacking the production crew
Right.
or the writers.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think that instantly shifted him from being likable to unlikable. That was the issue there. But
But I think that somebody like Joe Coy and somebody like Nate, they are very relatable to everyday people.
Mm-hmm.
They're not necessarily relatable to super famous people,
Yeah.
and that's who you're performing for. That's
No, you're performing for the audience at home.
I know, but the reaction that you're getting is from the people in the room.
people in the room are never going to give good reactions regardless because they're all nervous about what they look like and if they're going to win their award and if they've got to give a speech and if they get underwear, toilet paper hanging out of their dress.
I know, but if the audience, regardless, is turning on you and giving you dead silence, it's awkward and feels like a fail, even if people at home might be laughing.
Well, if any of the award shows want hosts that are used to getting silence and the audience looking at us like we're a big fail, you can come to us. We'll host any award show. I don't care how big or small.
I also think that Nate Bargatze is a little slow in his delivery. He likes those pauses.
Yeah.
He likes that pacing.
He's like a
And I don't know
Southern-
how energetic then the evening is going to feel.
Who cares? She's got that nice, likable Southern drawl. It's like a nice... It's like a mint
Families
julep.
will love it. He's
Right.
like a nice mint julep
Yes.
under a willow tree.
Yes, and congratulate. Nice guy. And
He just wants a cup of coffee.
And he'll admit that I think we were the first radio show to have him on in any sort of way, shape, or form before anyone knew who he was. And I think we were staying. I think the first 5 times we had him on, we pronounced his name different every time.
Yeah,
that's how little known he was at the time.
All right, before you go making fun of that weird homeschool kid, just remember some of the biggest celebrities who were homeschooled were Billie Eilish, Taylor Swift, Serena Williams, Ryan Gosling, and more. And here is another local success story. A kid who is graduating college at 10 years old and is considered a child prodigy thanks to her dad being her teacher. This is another person that's a better dad than you are, Klein.
Most 10-year-olds are likely in 5th grade right now. Elisa Perales from San Bernardino is in Computer Science 240, learning about assembly language at Crafton Hills College in Yucaipa. This 10-year-old set to graduate from community college next month.
I don't even know one thing they said, including Yucaipa.
Including graduating.
My wife went to Crafton Hills, by the way. It's not a difficult school to graduate from.
All right, well, that's Omar's really this accomplishment is being S all over.
They're like, why don't we apply? And they're like, sure, I guess. Come
And by
on
the
in.
way, learning computer language in San Bernardino, what's that really? Like Lego?
Well,
Her father says she was reading at 2, doing algebra at 5.
I thought that if she could get into college by 10, that would maybe be possible. I did not imagine that she would be graduating.
Thanks to inheritance, Rafael Perales had the financial means to stay home with his daughter to homeschool her.
We were working from 8 in the morning till 4 in the afternoon. We did that 6 days a week.
So 6 days a week of school from 8 a.m. or whatever the hours you just gave. Long hours of
That
learning.
sounds like torture.
For him,
Child
too.
abuse.
By the way, and I'm a terrible person because if I had some sort of an inheritance, trust me when I say I wouldn't be blowing it on sitting home with my kid,
A
teaching
boat,
him
baby?
algebra. No way. I'd be on a boat
Yes.
doing a mountain of cocaine.
Yep.
So we
Thanks
have...
to an inheritance, he never has to take care of his children ever again.
Yeah. Their new mom Guadalupe would be taking great care of them while I'm on a boat doing cocaine. But good for them though. That's good.
It is a beautiful
All right,
story.
we get into a brand new hour of the show. Let's do it right now, and this will be the greatest hour of your life. I guarantee it.
Klein Alley Show. 106.7 KROQ FM in HD Pasadena, Los Angeles, Orange County. This is the world famous KROQ.
All right, welcome to KROQ. Welcome back. Allie's returned from the river. A changed woman. She says she'll never look at life the same again. Even though she said after her nap yesterday, she kind of forgot everything that she promised herself when she was on the river.
Well, I woke up and then I just kind of felt sad.
That's a real post-vacation depression is a real thing. I mean, just like, the first Monday after the football season comes to an end, or anytime you spent a lot of time excited. Because this trip, as far as I remember, you had for 6 months now, you've had this thing planned and been talking about it, and then it gets closer and closer to happen.
Oh my God, when I was leaving here, the studio, with my backpack,
you were all
going
excited.
to the airport, I was like, wow, the world's my oyster. I don't know what's happening for the next 8 days. And now I do.
And now you did it, and now it's gone, and then you've got the bill to pay for it, and you're back to this world.
Yeah.
So,
But
welcome.
I will be at Coachella, so I'll be back in a desert.
Oh, you're going to Coachella this weekend?
I am.
Huh. You are a real weekend tour type. It's a real, it fits.
It's my comfort zone.
It fits, yeah.
I'm not a weekend one person.
No way. Absolutely not. We got lots to get to this hour on the show. The returning generation wars. Let's prove if the generation that you represent is by far the best one. Gen Xers, Millennials, Gen Zers. If you would like to represent your generation, answer some questions, and have bragging rights for an entire generation of humans, this is a good hour for you. El Cheapo will be checking in on Thrifty Thursday, and lots more to get into. So you come to the right place at the right time, and we are less than an hour to go until we get you into Disneyland as well. So if that's your thing, just keep on listening. We got the phones at 800-520-1067. You can call, you can text, you can also watch us as we are streaming live on YouTube right now. Want to see what this whole debacle looks like? Well, you can check us out, streaming live. Lots of ways to get involved. And now Muse on your KROQ. KROQ, we are Klein Alley's show, and we live in all different parts of Southern California. Allie's in the Deep Valley. Jake's in a shack in Burbank. You got Vanessa in Long Beach. Omar's all the way in Rancho Cucamonga. Postmaster Johnny is sleeping on friends' couches. Who knows where that guy is? And the reality is that we have things happening in our neighborhoods, as reported constantly on the Neighborhood Next Door Citizen app, and we like to share them with you from time to time and hear what's happening in your neck of the woods. It's time for us to meet the neighbors.
Meet the neighbors, that's what you need to do. Meet the neighbors, find out who is who.
Where's that? What is that one?
What the hell's that?
That's the original. I
That one
guess,
is
without-
terrible.
Really?
I didn't know we
I
had
didn't even know we had that.
That's the unproduced Meet the Neighbors one?
Yeah, do you want to hear it again?
Not really. I like the real one.
Here's the real one.
Meet the neighbors.
So much better. Wow.
That's what you gotta do.
The other one
Judge
sucks.
Say hello, shake a hand, share a smile, and make a friend. Meet the neighbors.
Yeah.
Their dog just crapped in your yard.
Song written and recorded by Allie's real-life neighbor, Ray. All right, so let's get to it. Jake, we'll start with you this time. What's happening in your neck of the woods?
Now, this is from Mikey. He says, "Hey, guys, I recently got back into playing pool, and I was wondering if anyone wants to make plans with me to play sometime. No likes, one comment, and it says, no."
It's interesting how it's taken a shift, because originally it was everyone was supporting each other so much, and it was, hey, you need help finding a reputable dry cleaner nearby.
Well,
or...
it is a community app. It's meant for the community to connect.
Right, but usually if the answer is no, you don't want to play pool with Mikey, you just don't respond. You don't feel the need to respond to his request and then write no.
Just make him feel so bad. Because he's already an avid pool player.
And by the way, the fact that he wrote that, hoping he'd find some neighbors that would jump on board. Because sometimes someone posts something and there's hundreds of comments. So
I know. He probably has his own pool cue too, in that little glove with the fingers cut off.
Yeah, that's when you've really committed to playing. When you want to be your identity is pool. You get one of those gloves missing the fingers. That's when you're really committing to it. All right, Allie, what's happening in your neighborhood?
So this woman commented with a couple of pictures of something that she found while she was out hiking. And just word of advice, if you're going to litter, don't litter a Starbucks cup with your name on it, because you will be called out on Nextdoor. Dear Tammy, you couldn't walk 10 more feet to the trash can, Tammy? If you have children, I hope you're not setting an example for them of your poor choices. If you are a Tammy or know Tammy, please tell her to do better. So sick of trash on Ramona. I walk regularly and end up picking up trash all along Ramona and High. We live in a beautiful area. A few thoughtless people ruin it for the rest of us, namely you, Tammy.
I would love so much, Allie, if we could get a bunch of different rappers now and write Tammy on all of them and just place them all.
Everything is labeled Tammy.
Place them all over.
She's just wreaking havoc
And
in
just
Ramona.
This one woman's life who's so mad that she spends her whole life.
God, Tammy!
Then we
Every morning.
and we send Vanessa out there wearing a name tag that says, "Hello, my name is Tammy." Just watch the funniness.
See this woman attack her viciously.
At least she had a better coffee experience than I did yesterday after the show. Vanessa was nice enough to run over to Starbucks, and there was a bit of a language barrier.
You
Which,
cannot let it go.
well,
you have
what
talked
happened?
about it a lot.
It
was
is-
an
Oh, man, what
all-day
happened?
thing.
Vanessa came back. There was a cup on my desk, iced coffee, and it was the cup.
By the way, we decided that Vanessa was going to go get the coffee because last time Johnny went to go get the coffee, he lost the Starbucks card.
Right,
Now that we have a new Starbucks card, we entrusted Vanessa with this.
We couldn't trust Johnny because we thought Johnny, doesn't understand how gift cards work, so he used it to get the coffee and threw out the gift
And
card.
Vanessa loves the Starbucks.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
I come back to
Loves
my
it.
desk. I look at this cup. It's a large iced coffee. The bottom part of it is coffee, and the entire top part of it is some thick white beverage, fluid. I don't even know what it is.
Was it foam?
She had ordered
Was it that milk foam?
She, instead of getting a coffee with a splash of half and half, she had apparently ordered a half coffee, half cream. The entire
that sounds disgusting.
The entire,
it was so thick.
The entire
Oh, my
top of the
God.
coffee was just the thickest layer
Vanessa?
of all cream.
I literally said, and please some cream, a half and a half.
And please some cream.
Is that how you said it?
Yeah, you know what? I should have known.
Please, sir.
Have some cream.
I don't even know how the barista at Starbucks didn't stop this from happening, because at some point you would have thought they said, "Are you sure you want half of a cup full of cream?"
And it was like a venti. It was
it was so much cream.
You couldn't even mix it.
Unmixable. and it was the consistency of like boba or tar.
Yeah, it was very
And
thick.
I said, "Vanessa, is there any chance you accidentally ordered half of the entire cup as cream?" And she goes, "I don't think that's possible." And then after the third time I asked her, she's like, "Well..."
And because on the cup it said half cream.
It said half coffee, half cream.
She just misunderstood me, but I know
Who
that
would
you
order
get a
that?
splash of cream.
Yeah,
Just a splash.
the word splash was missing.
I don't know. Just give it half cream.
So
I don't know
anyway,
what she's saying.
I got to write Tammy on that cup and throw it by Allie's neighborhood.
Yes.
Please, sir. Please. That's right. Quick break. We got to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
KROQ.
Get out your bunny ears at 9, noon, 3, and 6.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me.
We're stuffing your Easter basket with tickets to Disneyland After Dark, Star Wars Night, happening May 6th. Not only will you find the tickets, you'll find all kinds of happy at the Disneyland Resort. You'll even find a travel to a galaxy far, far away kind of happy. Keep listening to win. And happy KROQster from KROQ. Not a real holiday, but we aren't coming in that day anyway.
KROQ.
Adam Sandler's Opera Man. Vanessa, no.
I told you guys.
You've been working on your show.
I told you.
Someone else.
I didn't want to do it. This apparently Allie says this is a big song. Good for you. You're doing great out without me, baby. God, I wish that I could do that. All right. I don't even know who that is. Who is that?
That's Olivia Rodrigo.
Oh, well, that guy
Oh.
That song.
Oh, yeah.
But the way you did it, you couldn't recognize it. Oh, yeah.
It's pretty good the way I did it, too, though. It's not my favorite.
My new
Not
dream.
me, if you ever cared to ask. Good for you. You're doing great out without me, baby. See, play hers now. It's all the same. What?
I was like, oh. Girl. My new dream is to meet these artists just so I can play these tracks for them.
All right, well, we only have one more, and I think only one person's gotten theirs right.
By the way, next time we do this, you guys got to find some duets to do with Vanessa, so both of you guys could get on.
Oh my God.
That'd be spectacular.
I love it when we're cruising together.
Let's go ahead. This is one more person gets a shot. And as of right now, the tickets are already going to go to Camille because she got hers. She was able to figure out I was doing Pink Pony Club. So we say
and yeah, she knew the lyrics right away. I guess it's just really knowing the lyrics.
that's a big part of it, I think.
Because the rhythm and the melody are not going to help you.
Let's say hi to Ariel in North Hollywood. Hello, Ariel.
Sweet Divots. How's
Sweet
it going?
Divots. Congratulations on surviving that big shaker we had a couple nights ago. Still talking about it. 3-9er
right.
in North Hollywood. You felt it. I know you did.
I actually felt it pretty hard.
Yeah, I believe it.
I
Right
just
there.
felt it pretty hard.
All right, well, let's see if you feel this pretty hard. It's the final song. If you can figure out what...
Just so you know, I'm with Regal. I thought it was going to be Deftones songs, too.
Yeah, well, that would have been nice for the people that screened the calls to inform you as to what we were doing, but here we go. Heartbreak is one thing, my ego's another. I beg you, don't embarrass me, motherfucker. Oh, please.
You got it?
Yeah. No.
Why
This is a very popular song.
Why am I not surprised that hardcore Deftone fans do not know that I'm trying to sing a pop song? Please, 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 well, I have a fun idea, babe. Maybe just stay inside.
Ooh.
Any guesses?
Congratulations, Camille.
That's right. Well said. Hey, Camille, congratulations. You are going to see the Deftones on Thursday, all right?
Thank you.
You're very welcome, and I want you to know, and by the way, people on the text line still getting it. I'm not that tone deaf.
No.
People are able to guess all the songs
No,
I've
you
done.
are tone deaf. I think just people are just a little better at it.
We have another pair of tickets because we only had one winner in that game, which is great news for all of you diehard Deftones fans that are listening.
And Mars Volta.
And Mars Volta. And we'll give you a chance to win those tickets coming up. So Camille is in. She got herself a pair. She may be meeting the band. We've got another pair of Deftones tickets we'll give you today before we're out of here. This morning on KROQ. Generation Wars will be coming up in moments. If you'd like to join us and you'd like to represent your generation, be it Millennial, Gen Z, Gen X, perhaps you're one of them boomers, you can get on the phone to get some bragging rights for your generation and even win yourself a prize. That'll be coming up in moments on KROQ. But first, it's Thrifty Thursday, so here she is, back from her trip on the river, El Cheapo.
It's time to talk to the kingpin of cheap. Here she is, El Cheapo.
If you have the opportunity to take a vacation, usually especially if it's a great vacation, it costs some money. And when you get back from vacation, along with the depression of getting back to daily life, you start thinking about how you can save money to make up for all the money you just spent. Now, in my case, with my trip, not only did I have to spend money on the actual river trip, I had to buy a whole slew of things to pack. Things that are specific for this trip and this trip alone. Now that I'm back from the Grand Canyon, I want to think of how many of these items I can now return.
Oh,
because
God.
some of them are used
Allie.
or gently used.
No.
Are any of these in the toiletry category?
I'm sure they all are. And by the way, the term gently used, let's just throw that right in the garbage. Gently used is used. Let's focus on the bold used. That's what it is. It's used. Oh, my. She's dumped her whole bag of dirty laundry on the table here.
No. I just cleaned all this stuff, so the sand is gone.
What are those man's shoes?
These aren't men's shoes. These are my women's lady shoes.
Oh.
These are called Keen sandals. They are for trekking through water and, regular trails.
Can I ask you a question? I'm serious. You wore those in the river?
Yeah.
So when you were squatting and going number one in the river, those are what on your feet?
Yeah, but Klein,
Get them out of here.
I ran them through the washing machine.
Get them out of here.
Here.
No, I don't want
Look how
those.
great quality these are.
This is a violation of HIPAA or something.
Look, I used these,
OSHA.
extensively through the trip. I was pretty much only wearing these the whole time.
Ugh.
And now I don't really see a whole lot of other times where I'm going to be using these. They're kind of a one-trick pony. And they're super nerdy.
Did you buy them used or new?
I bought them new at REI, and now I'm considering returning.
REI?
Yeah.
Everything at REI is super expensive.
I know.
Yeah, but
these
I think,
were like $100.
I think if they know you're a lesbian, you get 80% off or something.
I did get a 20% discount through the co-op because I am a member.
Right. It's like some sort of a special lesbian handshake at checkout.
Well, I got one 20% off full price item, and I got 20% off a clearance item, which I'm also hoping to return.
This is so sad. I've seen people do this with luggage before, where they don't have luggage, they have a trip, they buy a suitcase, it's got a 90-day, no questions asked return policy. They use the suitcase, they clearly traveled with it, and then they say, I'm sending it back now for my money, and I'll just do it again the next time I need a suitcase.
These I got for $7 at TJ Maxx, and these are ASIC quick dry shorts, but I only wore them for a week straight, so I feel like I could probably
use those again.
Well, get out of here with
Yeah,
that.
but I'm not really a shorts person.
No, definitely not. Or a pants person.
No,
I should point
I'm
that
not
out.
a legs person.
Yeah, in general.
Shouldn't have legs.
Right, I agree.
Neoprene socks. These are something that I had to buy only for the trip.
She's showing off all these goodies on the YouTube right now, but the fact that you had to even buy all this stuff, those look like oven mitts for your cankles.
Well, these are kind of like wetsuit material, so if you're wading into the river to go do all your number ones and you don't want to step on rocks, you wear these neoprene gloves.
What percentage of this stuff did you
socks.
wear while you were doing number ones?
Oh, all of this stuff was number one, Don.
Oh, great.
I mean, this
not
I
gonna
washed
return
my
that,
dirty
Allie?
body with this towel. This is a quick, dry, lightweight towel.
Throw it out. Don't even give it to a homeless person. Just throw it in the
Let me just pick
trash.
some of this stuff off
Oh,
of it.
God.
I
It's
think
Does that have hair on it?
I don't know what this is.
Oh, get rid of it all.
It's hair, but it's not my hair.
What kind of?
man.
In all seriousness, I know you're thinking to yourself, like, what is your best case scenario? Are you really going to return some of this stuff to Amazon?
Well, these neoprene socks were Amazon. I mean, and look, I washed them; they look brand new.
But you used them and you wore them for exactly what you bought them for, right? It's not like you bought. I
No,
understand.
but I
maybe,
don't need these anymore, Klein. I'm not going to wear neoprene socks in any other scenario.
Look,
when am I going to wear these? When I go into the Pacific Ocean for 1
Klein,
second?
let me ask you this because I'm in the middle of a return process and I want to see if this is kind of similar. I bought I was doing this home project. I bought a paint sprayer because I thought it was going to save me a tremendous amount of time. And then it turns out that the paint sprayer sucked ass. So I'm going to return it. I spent $150 on it.
Yeah.
Do you think this is the same thing?
No, different because you bought a thing and it didn't work the way you were hoping it would work. And
Yep.
you said to them going in, look, I thought this was going to save me time and effort. It didn't, and I didn't end up using it. And that comes down to how...
But I did use it.
You used it to complete the job?
I had to roll the rest of it because it sucked so bad.
Did you go number one on it?
I did not go number one
So
on it.
it's returnable.
Well, ding, ding, ding.
That's the difference.
You can still
Allie,
return it either
right.
way. It's a trick question.
But Allie, if you use this thing for what you bought it for, I did this thing every couple of years where we say to my kids, I'm going to go skiing. We're going to take them with the Big Bear. And none of the stuff fits. We got to buy all the stuff. And then you put it on them, and then some of the times we don't go at all. Trip gets canceled for whatever reason. Sometimes I'll return it right there. Unused, unworn, not used. But if I took them up there, they rolled around in it, played in the mountain for the day, That's ours now. You don't send that back.
661 said, I once bought hiking poles and used them for a hike for 10 hours straight, and then on my way back from the hike, stopped an REI and returned them and got my $200 back.
People do it. I'm not saying people don't do it. I see it all the time. I was at Costco yesterday. That entire line of returners were all, I could tell as I walked by that line of sadness. Every single one of those people had something that they had used.
And when I walk by that line, they bow to me.
They all, yeah, of course. Well, what is that thing? A hemorrhoid pillow?
No.
What is that?
Actually, now that you mention it, could double as that. But this is the inflatable pillow that I used on my cot.
So you slept on that? Yeah, you should. This is all garbage.
But
I thought you were going to go on this adventure again. Didn't you say that it's just changed your life and you're going to do it again?
yeah, but the thing is, I could use this money now, and then why can't I just buy another one later on? That's probably a big improvement
but your
from this
spit's
one.
all over that pillow. It's got your
spit or hair.
No, I washed the cover. There's
Allie,
some stains on it, though, I
but
think.
it's so
Thanks,
gross.
Jake. All right, we got a taker.
All right.
What about this laundry rope? Anyone?
You know, it's fun. I wasn't even going to play this call for you earlier because I thought you'd be offended by it.
Good
but
quality rope.
You should hang yourself with that thing. I'm going to play this right now because I'm telling you, you need to hear this.
Yes, hello, how's it going? This is the Arizona State Park Rangers Wildlife Protection Agency Division Detective Rednauer Horace. And I'm just calling because we've had some serious mishaps happen in the past 24 hours within our lovely river.
This is a park ranger who's calling, Allie, since you went in the river.
And anyways, just to let you know, there have been multiple marine aquatic animals popping up dead in large batches. So I put my nose down, I ran a few tests on these dead animals. They've been consuming fecal matter. I ran a DNA profile on it, and come to find out, Allie Johnson, your poop from your sack had leaked out and killed all these animals. I found your fecal matter in these animals, and you killed them.
So, I mean, look, it's a great call from a park ranger. Doing the Lord's work
Definitely
right now.
real. Definitely a real call. Thank you so much.
Hold on. Josh, you're on KROQ. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Netbangers.
How you doing?
Pretty good. Hey, Allie, I'm totally on your side, by the way. I once had a phone. I just bought a phone for the weekend to take photos on a trip and returned it that following Tuesday.
By the way, I'm not saying you can't do it. I'm not
this
saying
rain jacket. I'm not going to use a rain jacket in
Listen.
Los Angeles. I wore this thing for a few days to get really wet on the raft, and then now I don't need it anymore.
It rains in L.A.
It doesn't bother you,
but it was a
Allie,
rain jacket.
that some person thinks that they're going to get something back from order something from Amazon, and it was something that you wore in a river and went #1 all over, and they're going to receive it in the mail. It's disgusting.
I will say this is the one thing I didn't go #1 on. Does that help? Any takers? Any takers?
What a terrible sentence to even
I'll put
say.
it in the offer up description.
This was, by the way, how our show started today. I mean,
So, River Alley's a thing.
Yeah.
And I can't say that I'm a big fan.
I mean, no one's a fan of River Alley.
562, I'm delivering Amazon right now. How dare her? This is horrible. 909, you know what? I think that you could put all these things on Poshmark, Alley, and I'm sure some sicko will snatch them up right away.
How used must something be before you decide that even it is beneath you to return? And I get it. They'll probably refund you for most of the stuff.
This is hundreds of dollars of stuff.
I understand it is. But also it's stuff that you bought, used for what you bought it for.
Come on, just touch it.
Oh, God. Get rid of that.
Just has a little pea left.
Millennials. Gen X. Gen Z. It's time for you to call and get some bragging rights for your generation. We have a Generation Wars battle to get into in a moment. Prize up for grabs. Love to hear from you now at 800-520-1067. Park was in this very room yesterday afternoon with Kevin Ryder. Surprised him on the air to welcome him back to KROQ, and that was some Linkin Park for you, called Up From the Bottom on KROQ. If you are a Gen Xer, we'd love you to participate in some generation wars starting in moments on KROQ. The official definitions are always changing. But Gen X, I think, means you were born sometime between, 72 and 80? Is that Gen X?
The Generation X is, hold on a second.
I think it was mid-70 or...
early 60s to late 70s. Does that sound right?
No. For Gen X?
No, that's not. Okay, Generation X refers to people born between the mid-60s and about 1980, directly following the baby boomer generation.
And then
Gen X is a common descriptor intended to help identify a group of people who grew up in similar economic, technical, and political circumstances.
Then you've got, of course, the millennials. No shortage of millennials on the phone that would like to participate. No shortage of zennials that would like to participate. And then Gen Z also wants to represent. But the question is, who will reign supreme? Which generation is the best? Everyone assumes they come from the best generation. Everyone assumes the generation before them was a bunch of squares and losers doing it wrong.
As a millennial, I will say that it has been a very disappointing showing. Whenever we do generation wars, millennials are not very good at learning about other generations besides their own.
Yes, because millennials feel that in many ways we got to experience a little bit of the Gen X stuff and a lot of the Gen Z stuff. So being right there in the middle,
we feel like we know everything.
We are, right. The only generation that grew up kind of pre-internet but also with internet.
We were the bridge. We were the generation that grew up without technology and then with technology.
And when Johnny hears you say that, he's like, all right, he thinks of you as like a boomer, like you're bragging because you grew up without email. He's like, so why is that a flex? That sounds lame.
Well, because I think that there's a lot of studies that are done about people who grow up in the digital age and people who don't. So it's interesting that there's a generation that is like a halfie and experienced both.
Molly, how do you identify?
I'm a millennial.
Born what year?
1990.
All right, you'll be representing all millennials. Everyone who is a millennial, your hopes and dreams will rest on Molly's shoulders right now. Molly, you'll be battling. Let's go ahead and see who we have. You want to go north or south in the world of generations? Let's go. Oh, no. Where did Molly just go?
Well, you just hung up on it. Oh, no. Where did Molly
just lost Molly.
Oh, typical millennial doesn't know technology.
Let's say hi to Andre. Andre, you are a millennial as well. What year?
I am 84, baby.
84. All right. Hold on one second. You will be representing millennials. I'm sorry, Molly. I said everyone had their hopes and dreams on Molly, and then we immediately hung up on her.
She would have been great.
Let's say hi to Tracy, representing Gen X on line 4. Hey, Tracy, welcome to KROQ. Good morning. Hello, Tracy. Going once.
Good morning.
There you are. And what year were you born?
74.
Oh, wow. Exactly separated by a decade. It's a millennial versus Gen X battle in this generation wars. Let's see how you do answering questions that your generation shouldn't know, but the other one should. And we will start with Andre, millennial. First question out of the gate. You ready for this?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Millennial question for you. There was a phone number you used to be able to call that would give you the TNT. And a lot of people would call to get the TNT. What was the TNT standing for?
The TNT stands for? Oh, God. The... I don't know. Something telecommunication. I don't know.
That is no point for millennial. Gen X, you would know this, obviously, because you probably used to call this number to get some TNT. What did the TNT stand for? A number to call to get some TNT. What was it?
I think it was the time and the date.
Yeah, time and temperature, actually. TNT was time and temperature. That's something that that kind of died with the Gen Xers.
Is that when they started going at the tone?
Yeah, I think well, how stupid is that?
Daylight time will be 8:40.
Right.
Exactly.
But you think about it. I mean, how dumb are we? I guess we've evolved a lot, but like I don't know what time it is. Does anyone have the number?
We need to create a phone number.
Right. We had to create a number. All right, we move on. No one gets the point on that one. And now, Tracy, you get a chance to try to answer a question that only millennials should know the answer to. Here you go. What was Fruitopia?
Whoa.
Tracy?
A video game?
Video game. That is.
Oh, man, though.
That is not correct.
The first LGBT video game.
The world's gayest video game.
Jump
Fruitopia.
over the rainbows.
Andre, as a millennial, do you remember what Fruitopia was?
Fruitopia, was that like a gathering? Right?
What?
A gathering of the gay juggalos was called Fruitopia.
Are you going to Fruitopia this year?
It was a beverage. It was a drink. No
Yeah.
one gets that right either. Al, you remember that, right?
Yeah, I remember Fruitopia.
All right, moving on. So far, no points Gen X, no points Millennials, and there's only 2 questions left to figure out which generation reigns supreme. And here we go. You're back on the clock. This is for our this is for our millennial with a chance to answer. You must answer this one, Andre. Give me one official mascot of a cigarette brand.
Oh, Joe Camel.
All right, I will accept that. Joe Camel
He was so cool.
was the
He
coolest,
was
man.
awesome.
And I still see Joe Camel in vintage pictures, and I say, I should start smoking. That guy is cool, and I want to be cool like that guy. I need a leather jacket, a giant camel toe
Heck
for a
yeah.
face, and I got to start smoking.
I know.
All right, on the board now, you have millennials. Gen X, Tracy, you have a chance to answer a question that you should know.
Okay.
If you were to play Pogs and you wanted to flip your Pog over, what would you use to try to flip your Pog over?
Great question.
I know this.
Your finger?
Your finger.
No.
She's from the generation where like a stick and a tire was
Right,
entertaining.
that was fun. Right, I just need a finger and a stick, and I can
A
kill
good old
hours.
finger.
What is the correct answer, Andre?
That's a slammer.
Slammer is the correct
Heck
answer. Yeah, okay. So Andre is doing better at answering questions from Gen X than Gen X is doing answering questions from millennials. And now we go back to Andre. If you get this right, millennial will reign supreme for another week of generation wars.
Finally, a millennial will have won.
This is a question. Andre, born in 1984. How much did a phone call cost from a payphone?
Wow.
Oh man, it's either a quarter or a nickel. I'm gonna a quarter. I mean, we used to have a quarter and throw a quarter into the payphone, the Pacific Bell, if you will.
All right. That is. Have you ever used a payphone? Being born in 84, I would say you kind of almost missed payphones completely, right?
I used to love payphones. Yeah,
They were good for pranking
use them all
and
the time.
good for collect calls.
Mm-hmm.
That is the correct answer. Obviously, I mean, the price did change of a phone call, but a quarter was kind of the standard.
I remember
at least.
prank calling my teacher on a payphone.
Just to even stay alive, I want to see if our Gen Xer can get any question right that is intended for millennials. But what was the principal's name in Saved by the Bell?
I totally watched the show, but I don't know. I don't know.
She doesn't even know.
Man.
You want to take this one for the clean sweep, Andre?
Principal Balding.
Principal Belding and/or Balding, as he was called many times behind his back. All right, well, there you go. We gave you a fair shot. Unfortunately, Gen X got smoked, and our representative from Millennials, born in 1984, Andre, has brought some bragging rights to all millennials everywhere. You should feel great about yourself. Next week, millennials, you'll have the opportunity to battle a completely new generation. So who will be next? Will it be Zennials? Will it be Gen Z? We'll figure it out next time in Generation Wars here on KROQ.
Klein Alley Show.
The world famous Klein Alley Show. KROQ. KROQ. So, according to the text line, that makes
us truly
that
crazy.
makes us all crazy. We couldn't even get through one question without all fighting. This will really make you think about how you perceive the world, and if you are a good, decent, upstanding citizen, or do you have psycho traits, tendencies, etc.
562 said, Allie, I do not believe you're a psycho. You're just overly critical and highly judgmental, but definitely not psychotic.
A lot of these questions are about how you perceive your own success versus other people's failure, and do you actually have any emotion as it pertains to other people, quote, losers, etc. in the world. And
626 said that, even though Omar doesn't feel love is overrated, Omar's dad did.
Yep, that's right.
Yep, he sure did.
Got right out. All right, I have seen the... Whoa, I just got a... Oh, man. Just saw someone score on the show. Wow. That is... We may have to report that to HR. I'm not even kidding. All right, let's reveal the results now. Of course, if you'd like to take the quiz, we'll post the link up on our socials, Klein Alley Show. You can take it yourself. Great family event. Just gather up and around and figure out who in your family is the biggest psycho. Just a great thing to do on Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah, skip movie night and do this.
All right, let's see here. I got the results. Let's start with, you want to go lowest to highest?
Sure. Yeah, let's do that.
Well, Omar said that he would be the lowest on the show. And even though a lot of people on the text line thought perhaps Omar would be the biggest psycho, he is perhaps the most normal, the least psycho, with a score of only 1.3 out of 5.
Wow.
Thank you.
He basically answered everything in the what would be considered the approved, but not only approved, but like the what you want a person to think and feel like. A good human. That's right, Jake.
Number 5 on the pussy scale.
You got a 5.
I also think, though, it's so funny because if I were to take this same quiz maybe 15 years ago, I think it would have been totally different.
I guess. Yeah, you got soft because you had kids and became a family man.
100%.
Omar did score a 9.4 on the pussy scale. So, keep trying. All right. Next up.
Why aren't we doing that quiz?
I don't know where that one is. With a score of 1.6 on a primary psychopathy, but a very high 2.4 on her secondary psychopathy.
That's the worst one, I think.
Because there's two different ways these scores are broken down. There's your primary.
And the secondary is like, I get joy out of other people's pain.
Right.
Like, it makes me happy emotionally.
Vanessa, you finished second to last place.
What a liar.
So there, I don't. Maybe you, Vanessa, didn't understand the question. It's possible, right?
No, I understood. I was pretty neutral or disagree a little, agree a little.
I think neutral on every question means...
You're psycho.
Yes.
If you don't have an opinion.
You don't even have emotions. You're just like neutral, 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 neutral. That's apathy.
With a score of 2, Jake the Nerd.
Whoa.
Woo!
Is next up. He is an island unto himself. I can't believe they said that when he took the quiz. So
I think a lot of people would suspect Jake in a murder, but he would turn out to be innocent. Like, he'd be like, and the alibi checked out because he was at a weird Magic the Gathering tournament.
So now we got... Did Johnny take this? No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, he did? I don't see Johnny's score here. I have. Oh, there it is. Johnny got a 2.4.
Oh, that's pretty
Johnny,
high.
you are a little bit of a narcissist. You are a Riz master. You are, of that generation that kind of puts themselves first.
I'm not going to lie. I didn't read like half of them because I was kind of rushing this a little bit. But, yeah, I think that's pretty good, though.
All right. Thanks for the honesty. Barely beating Johnny. Barely beating Johnny.
Who did half the quiz.
With a score of 2.6 would be yours truly, me.
Wow.
Which means, and I was pretty much even, which is interesting. It shows I had a 2.6 and a 2.5 on the primary and the secondary psychopathy
So you're
scale.
right in the middle, essentially.
So I'm just kind of like, at least both of those are similar. But with the resounding score, and maybe the highest score ever in the history of this quiz, higher than 84.7% of anyone who's ever taken this quiz.
Jesus.
Wow.
With a score
Are you serious?
of 3.5. Primary psychopathy.
I'm
Allie,
scared to be here.
is the effective aspects.
You shut your mouth!
You have the effective aspects of psychopathy,
Stop yelling at me, boy.
a lack of empathy for others, and tolerance for antisocial orientations.
Oh, I love antisocial orientations.
Your
Can I get more of
score, your
those?
secondary score was lower, is a 1.7. Which,
See, that's what's important.
it's not.
Yeah, because the second one is what makes you truly crazy.
The official terminology for what you have according to this is crazy bitch. and
Look, I also, when I answered some questions, I was like, I'll just put like somewhat agree because I don't want to seem too crazy.
yeah, but so now, once again, what have we learned here today? most of us are
Don't
good
mess
people.
with me.
Allie is a crazy psycho. And that's what we learned. We'll be right back with your ADD news from that psycho over there. Then we'll give you your first pair of tickets. They are coming up very soon. If you want to join us and see that psycho in person on Sunday, Bad Omens at the KROQ Spooky Space. That's all coming up next on that Coachella, Green Day, our a buddy who listens to this show, potentially on or off. Trey Cool, looks like some of the drums got destroyed at the end of the set. Will they have new working drums for weekend 2 of Coachella? Well, we'll have to figure it out. If you'd like to go to Disneyland, we have those tickets coming up in about 5 minutes. So be ready to call and win yourself some Disneyland tickets. You win them from us today at 9, noon, 3, and 6 here on KROQ to get you into some Disneyland After Dark to celebrate all things Star Wars on May 6th. Every time I say Disneyland, Jake the Nerd feels the need to say Disneyland. Let's get into your news now. Then your Disneyland tickets and a brand new hour can officially begin right here on KROQ.
Grab your Adderall. It's time for ADD News.
Well, we knew it was coming, but it has officially been posted publicly. Firefest 2 is not happening.
Oh, man.
But let me clarify. According to the organizers, Firefest 2 is happening. It's just not happening in the location that they said it was happening at when it was supposed to happen. Their location has no longer become viable. And I think we got a hint of this when Playa del Carmen said, we have no knowledge of this event, nor would we have the resources to host this event.
I mean, is any person on the planet now going to spend even $1 to go to the... I understand Firefest 1. If I had seen that same video... It looked really nice and tropical, and I remember even announcing it on KROQ. Blink-182 is going to be there. They were putting a cool lineup together. If I had an extra, I don't know, $5,000, $6,000, $10,000 floating around, I could have seen myself maybe going, I want to go to Paradise and live in one of these VIP igloos they were building and watch Blink-182. I could see why you'd fall for that. The second one now, after we all have seen the many Firefest documentaries on Hulu, Netflix, and now even the fact that the second one is clearly not happening either. Same nonsense as the first one. The location going, we don't even know what the hell this guy's talking about. Who's going to spend $1? There's got to.
You can spend up to $1.1 million on a ticket. Because I'm on their website right now. By the way, it completely still says Playa del Carmen and everything on their website. And they have the different VIP access passes that you can buy. So the general access is $1,400, and that's the Ignite Pass. Then you have the Fuego Pass, which is $5,000. Then you have the Phoenix Artist Access Pass, which is $25,000. But they also have the Prometheus Pass.
What is that?
The origin of the Prometheus Pass is shrouded in secrecy.
Oh,
so they don't really explain what it is.
What's that one cost, though?
$1.1 million.
No secrecy there.
You can explore those tickets still on their website.
It seems like if they get enough idiots to buy these passes, then they'll have a budget, and then they can potentially try to build a concert around it.
Well, I mean, even on this website, it looks cool, even if they're not even saying anything. It just says water adventures, extreme sports, leisure, wellness, cultural and creative activities, and, of course, music.
Look, I don't know enough about AI, but I do know that if you knew what you were doing, you could build a website in 15 seconds that says, AI, make a really cool-looking website for a festival.
And this looks like a very cool website promoting a really cool concert that just happens to not exist.
And enough people are going like, I don't know what that is, but I don't want to miss out.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the FOMO, that's what they're making money on is FOMO.
And
but they said their priorities remain unchanged, and they're going to deliver an unforgettable, safe, and transparent experience eventually.
Well, it definitely looks unchanged from the first one right now, for sure.
Our priorities remain unchanged. Bamboozling everyone out of their money for an event that doesn't really
exist. Offering oral sex to get the bottled water out of customs. Those are our priorities.
That is not on the website. All right, a couple of local events that are happening for the first time, and I wanted to share. I hope this is not the last time these events will take place. First off, the 420 Easter Nug Hunt. Over 20 local weed shops in L.A. are participating in this.
Oh, I already have the Promethean pass for that. I'm very excited. Spent a lot of money.
It's not for the faint of heart, and it's top secret.
I'm excited about this Nug Hunt because if you think about it, I don't know how often 420 falls on Easter. But
every 7 years, apparently.
What a great, great treat.
Yeah, tickets are $49, which allows you to download an exclusive scavenger hunt app, and then you hit the streets along Santa Monica Boulevard. Every stop has challenges, games, of course, free stuff of the weed variety, but there's also a $500 grand prize involved. This other event is
$500 grand prize?
I know, isn't that not very much?
That sounds like not much of a grand prize.
But you're not disappointed like you were at Firefest.
I guess. What is that? Inside of one of the eggs is candy, and inside of the other eggs there's weed, and then some eggs have cash?
Well, you also, I think,
nuggets?
Are getting free stuff as you go. Like, you're paying $49 to do all these stops, and you're going to be getting free stuff at these events anyway. But if you're able to check off everything on the list...
What if you get the munchies?
Yeah, putting little nugs inside. Some of them are weed nugs, some of them are chicken nugs.
Hell yeah.
Great little
my God.
nug hunt. Let's go. Now I'm interested.
Where's this happening?
Well, it's happening all over, but it starts on Santa Monica Boulevard, and there's 20 different local weed shops and stores that are
that's
participating throughout. Yeah, so it's kind of like a bar crawl, but for weed. Sounds fun. And then there's also a sperm race happening. This
sounds less fun.
It's the first time this has ever happened.
It's also on Santa Monica Boulevard, I bet.
Now, this one's happening in WeHo.
I can outrun a sperm.
It's happening at the Palladium. Listen to this. It's a startup that is called Sperm Racing. They have raised $1.5 million to do this event. They're choosing one guy from UCLA and one from USC, and each of them at the event will emit at the same time, and their sperm will travel on an 8-inch track. This will be happening live, and the audience will be watching it, and they will be betting on it like a horse race.
Allie,
What?
are you reporting on April Fool's News again?
There's no way. How could you release at the same time?
There's also an incredible theme song for this event.
Another damn day of me sitting in jacket, just wasting my sperm. I was just using napkins. Gotta do better. I'm done with the sperm. Hey, Alex just sent me a link about a sperm race. I went on the site. Man, they betting on sperm. What the hell is this? Shaft Kings got Michael Phelps type sperm in his fat peen. My swimmer's ready for swimming. Dick bar in the race. Ain't no way I'm not winning. That's facts. So I make my way to the track. I spent the whole night just massaging my sack. Whip at my thing when I'm ready to shoot. Whoever gon' race me is surely gon' lose.
Where is this happening?
This is happening at the Palladium. This is on the LA Times. This is a new startup, and it's a fertility startup, and they're trying to raise awareness about male
spelled in this thing?
Sperm race.
THY, right? Isn't that right?
Ooh, I don't know why we're not involved in this.
No, this is LA's newest gambling event, live sperm racing. People are betting on it, and I think we should get involved.
You're looking at two guys sizing up how you think their sperm could be on the inside based on how they look on the outside.
This app was funded by and started by a 17-year-old co-founder who wants to raise awareness for male fertility, and he wants to make it fun. And they have chosen these two guys, and they're going to prepare. They're going to change their diets. They found two people that kind of have similar, I guess, prototype. Like they have the same sperm count, similar, so that it would be a fair competition. But they're going to have, I guess, they had matching biomarkers, and they're going to have each of them.
They took the fun right out of it, huh?
Yeah, they added a lot of science to it.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Just get Peter North down there, and I mean, he would just constantly win.
I love how you guys are like, this is ridiculous. Oh, it's about science. Forget it. This is lame.
All right, well, there you have
I think that you can bet on this, Klein. You can bet on sperm racing.
I've bet on dumber things than that.
Exactly.
So there you have it. Some news for you as we get into a brand new hour of the show. Looking for caller 20 right now. 800-520-1067. I'll say it again. I'll say it slower. 800-520-1067. We'll send you to Disneyland Nights for some Star Wars After Hours. Yeah, let's go.
106.7 KROQ FM in HD Pasadena, Los Angeles, Orange County. This is the world famous KROQ.
Frequent is here. Good morning, and how the hell goes it? We are Klein Alley Show. Nice to meet you. Thanks for coming back for more. My name's Klein. That is Allie.
Hi.
Got DJ Omar Khan right there,
Hey.
the audio sniper, even though there's a guy out there impersonating him.
Hate
That
that
is
guy.
the original, and then you've got Jake the nerd back there. That is the arbiter of sound or something.
Audio.
In the back room, Postmaster Johnny taking your calls, 800
Hate that guy, too.
520-1067, and Vanessa. At one time, she worked for NASA, and now she's here at KROQ. Oh, boy, what a career slide that is.
Her resume includes previous history with NASA and being a mouse at Chuck E. Cheese.
The rat.
Yep.
She was the rat at Chuck E. Cheese because she could fit in the costume, and she said it smelled terrible in there. And this is still her least favorite job. We got tickets to give you right now if you'd like to go to Disneyland. It's Disneyland After Dark, Star Wars night on May 6th. You'll find all of the fun at the Travel to a Galaxy Far, Far Away Kind of Happy. Listen all week for your chances to win at 9, noon, 3, and 6 with the great Kevin Ryder. So if you'd like to win, hopefully I pick up your line right now, which would officially make you caller 20. And we say hi to Jessica. Good morning, Jessica.
Good morning.
Disneyland is in your future.
Oh my gosh. I'm so stoked.
Congratulations. Enjoy some Star Wars there, and thank you for starting your day with us here on KROQ. Cannot thank you enough for that.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I love you guys. Thank you so much.
I love you too. It's the greatest part of the job, is getting to give one person something while disappointing thousands of people.
Well, you look very excited.
That's what it's all about. This hour on the show.
Congratulations to you.
Lots.
That's what makes it worth it.
Yes, okay, Klein?
Customer service is what we do. We do customer
What was that
service
delivery
better than
with you?
anyone. Better than anyone. Making sure, to be honest, I was making sure I picked up the right call. I wasn't sure if that was 20 or 19. Regardless, congratulations, you've won tickets. I think I counted wrong.
Giving you this experience is why we do it.
That's, we do it for you guys. That's what I'm getting at. I was getting emotional there.
All the fun, Disneyland After Dark.
You want to experience all that fun, you just listen for another chance to win those tickets coming up with a much better version of me, Nicole Alvarez, happening at noon today, KROQ. every single person out there has at least at some point in their life perhaps attempted to lose some weight, either the traditional way of diet and exercise or the new way that everyone's doing it, like Jake, where they're on the juice, and that is helping. And apparently there is now a new way for people that hate working out and don't want to do drugs. It is something you're forced to do anyway in your daily life, but people are figuring out a way to turn it into a way to lose weight, which is crazy if you think about it, but also could be genius.
And this is not only science-backed, it's something that they said will reduce your risk of stroke or heart attack by half.
Listen,
Can I guess?
No. Well, yeah, take a guess on this side of the break, but we'll come back in
Okay.
a second with the answer. But what do you think it is, Omar? Because Ali just explained this to me, and I was like, that actually makes perfect sense. It
I
sounds
think this
dumb, but it makes perfect sense.
This is going to have to do something with your sphincter while you're going to the bathroom. Like you clench and then you let go, clench and you let go.
All right.
That's a bit of a workout. I think that has some potential health benefits.
I will say this. That is definitely not it.
Oh.
As someone with two buttles, I've tried that and it doesn't work.
That does not work.
Okay.
But the answer is actually even kind of weirder than that, and we will get to it after this quick break.
KROQ.
Get out your bunny ears at 9 noon, 3 and 6.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me.
We're stuffing your Easter basket with tickets to Disneyland After Dark, Star Wars Night, happening May 6th. Not only will you find the tickets, you'll find all kinds of happy at the Disneyland Resort. You'll even find a travel to a galaxy far, far away kind of happy. Keep listening to win. And happy KROQster from KROQ. Not a real holiday, but we aren't coming in that day anyway.
KROQ.
Hey, if you're...
Are you ready?
I'm not ready because I already think I know what this is, but there's an intervention that is apparently being called, and I am, I guess, the victim. Is that the right word? No?
No, you're the
We're the
recipient.
victims.
Yeah,
oh,
we
you're
are.
the victim. Excuse me. It's
You've got this wrong already.
I'm doing something that is affecting you all, and you would like to intervene
Numerous
on...
things.
Yeah, but Klein, we have to start out by saying we love you. And we're telling you this because we love you and we want the best for you. And I know you're turning into the person that you don't want to be. I know that you would see yourself walking down the street and you would say, that poor sucker, I can't believe he's living his life that way.
Well, I don't accept your love.
Why?
Well,
Come on,
it's a-
this is just resistance.
This is a silly way to start. And usually I thought the way it's supposed to work is I'm supposed to walk into a room thinking that we're having a pizza party, and then you guys are all sitting in a circle going
Yeah,
like...
let's get some pizza.
Yeah, I mean, you could have at least gotten me some effing pizza here.
Okay.
That was always the most jealous of that part of the intervention, was the part where the people got like a cool surprise party for like a second, and then they realized, oh, wait.
And they're
this
like,
is-
have a seat. We're actually in a conference room.
yeah, like I at least wanted that part of it.
Oh, everyone's here. Hey, guys. What's
Hey,
going
what,
on?
this is my half
It was like
birthday?
the first 30 seconds.
Yeah.
There's something new that you're doing. There have been things that you've been doing for a while. Yes, you are on your phone a lot, and we'll get to that. But there is something specifically I want to bring up, and then I'll let everyone else share different ways that you're affecting them negative.
Not Vanessa. She's not sharing, is she?
Yes, she is.
I'm sharing.
Vanessa. Thought we're cool.
Now, after the show is over, 95% of the time, as soon as we get off the air, we say our goodbyes, have a moment to ourselves, start to talk about the show for tomorrow and what we want to do. You take out your AirPods and you put them in your ears and you just leave them there. Might not be on a phone call, might not be watching or listening to anything, but you've got them in there. I called you out on this at one point and you said it's so I don't lose them.
Yep.
You're the guy
Stand by
that's
that.
walking around with AirPods in at all times, even though you're not on a phone call. And you will do this during meetings. You will have your AirPods in during meetings while we are trying to put together the show. I have no idea what you're looking at. If anything, I don't know if you're paying attention or not. Don't be the AirPods guy. Please, you're bigger than this. You're better than this. You don't need to be the AirPods guy. Just put them away.
All right, well, let me just start by saying I can already stop this problem. I lost them.
Oh, great. All right, next.
Really? You did? You lost
Yeah,
them?
because...
So your big plan did not work whatsoever?
Yeah, because I didn't put them in my ears one time, and now I've lost them. So I have the case, but I don't have the AirPods.
But there are many different things that you are doing to avoid direct communication and contact. Jake, do you want to go next?
No, hold on. I thought we just solved the problem. Problem solved.
No, there's a lot of
numerous problems.
There's numerous
That's not
problems
how
that are
intervention-
funneling through the
Well,
same thing.
BS. That's not how interventions work. You pick one thing. You're on meth. Let's deal with the meth.
The problem is that you're not present and you're not listening. There are a lot of different ways that you're doing this, and there are a lot of different people who are affected by this individually.
I listen better than anyone. I'm the best listener. I do.
Jake?
Yes, dear Klein,
Oh, I hate this. I'm
Your
not listening.
behavior has affected me negatively in the following ways. When I load audio onto Vox and tell you what it is, and you don't acknowledge that I said anything, and I have to say, "Do you hear that?" and you still don't say anything. I say, "Klein," you go, "Yo, yeah." And then when I talk to you over the comm to tell you something or ask you if you're good on audio, and you don't answer me. But actually, it's worse. You do answer me, but you don't take the effort to press the button. And I see you on video not pressing the button, but saying stuff as if you pressed the button. I can't hear you if you don't press the goddamn button.
Wow.
This is not a good intervention.
Also, you still owe me $300.
First of all,
that's irrelevant.
I've seen intervention. They've never yelled at the person like that and made them feel bad about it.
No, they're supposed to cry instead.
We do a lot of checks and secondary checks. It's too many checks. I say, can you put the audio in? If the audio's in, to me, that mission accomplished. I don't need hey, did you get the audio? You need a good job? You need a pat on the ass?
He needs confirmation that you received it.
Allie, how annoying is pushing this button?
It's not annoying.
Oh,
you reach for it, and you're like an inch away.
And then you can't do the extra inch.
Right.
I end up pushing it a lot for you because you can't make the effort.
Fine. Let me bring up something that just happened like 10 minutes ago,
Okay.
and I did not get confirmation on this, and this is part of the problem. Is I put in this brand new, shiny goat line bed that we're supposed to use when we go through the goat line bed, right?
Yes.
And I chime in, and you're distracted because you edit everything last minute. I'm like, hey, dude, just so you know, the goat line bed is in there, and I don't hear anything. So I'm guessing that you heard me and you see it in the system because I loaded it in the system.
That was a
fail.
fail.
You play the goat line bed?
No, I did not.
No. Why?
I had my AirPods in. I was tuning you out.
Which 909 said, what do you care, Allie? It's none of your business what he's doing with his AirPods. And generally, it's not.
No, I don't
it's
want to
when
be that
we
guy.
are
You're
at
right.
work
I don't want to
in
be
a
that guy.
meeting.
Sometimes you see some people that you see, you go, I don't like that. I don't know that person, but I don't like them based on that. And I don't want to. Once people get to know me, they don't like me. But I want them to get to know me first. I don't want them to not like me just on how I appear.
Exactly.
And when I put the AirPods in, it was my plan to not lose the AirPods.
But in a meeting situation where you're talking to people, it cancels out like 75% of the audio, the sound.
No, it doesn't, because they're not on.
Yes, it does.
They're just
They're
resting.
not on. How big are your ears?
Dude, look at them. They're huge. Look how big my ears are. They're
No
massive.
wonder you lost them.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I think could be in there right now.
All right,
There are
Johnny.
4 pairs in there.
Johnny, do you want to go?
I don't like this intervention, and I think we've covered it.
I'm ready.
We've covered enough. One thought per break, guys. Too many thoughts.
Okay, mine is really quick. Mine is just, and I know this kind of lends itself to your disability, but I have.
Lends itself to my disability. You're the guy that thought the Iditarod was hauled around by a bunch of Jamaican guys.
All right, stop deflecting.
It lends itself to your ADT, but I have one for when you walk.
ADT?
You got the disability.
Your security
pal.
system?
All right, let's move on to Vanessa.
All right, let's hear Johnny out. I like what he's saying. Go ahead.
Whenever we're talking to you or I'm talking to you, you do this thing where you kind of listen, but then like after like 4 or 5 seconds, you start like drifting and walking away from when we're talking to you. And you're like halfway out the door with your bag, and you're like, all right, yeah, I'll tell Senator, and then you get caught up in a conversation.
Guys, I understand the point.
Yes, but then what Omar's saying is that you aren't really listening. You're just trying to make us think that you're listening to us.
I am listening. Sometimes it doesn't need to be said in such a long. Johnny will say like, "Hey, I'm going to post something today at 2:00." I go, "All right, cool." To me, that's everything I need. He goes, "Thinking about 2 is better than 2:30 because if I go 2:30, it's going to be too close to it." And I walk out. I don't need all that. It's too much information.
All right.
I got a busy day.
Vanessa?
Piggybacking at everyone, pretty much. Is that how you say it? Anyways, when we have meetings and you're on your phone.
Guys, I hate meetings.
And you're like in social media, I don't know if you're paying attention to what I'm saying. And you know I don't speak very well, so I need full attention.
Vanessa, what did you just say?
Exactly.
I know what you said. In fact, here's the big.
We are not feeling heard, is what we're telling you, Klein.
You're a bunch of whiners is all.
You're not listening.
Can I say something? Allie thinks because she's doing this on a keyboard, she has her computer. I use my phone for everything. My Klein Allie show.
Impossible.
Well, hold on. We'll get to that.
I'd love to know.
You're just clearly a dumbass.
Has happened to one other person ever. I would love to know.
Happens to people. We can't get into it now, though. We got to talk about this weight loss thing. We've kept people on the hook, and now they want to know how can I lose weight without actually trying.
So they did a study on a bunch of people who don't exercise, and they had one half of the group say
Feed me.
Just go about your daily life. And they grabbed the second group and they said, do your life, do your chores, do your errands, but put the gas on. Make it a little zippier.
High velocity chores.
Yes.
High intensity chores.
If you're doing your vacuuming, turn it into speed vacuuming. If you're going to run errands, do a brisk walk in and out of the stores. Make it so that you're in a bit of a hurry, but you're just zipping through life and you're doing your chores. You're scrubbing the countertops with a little more fervor. Everything just has that little extra to it.
It's so funny about this and how stupid and weird this is. I had a buddy that he decided that his whole workout regime was going to be just sprinting to do whatever he did. And that meant if he was going from his car in the parking lot of a CVS to the register, he would sprint. And it puts everyone else on edge.
It's very anxiety.
Every other person is constantly thinking that a crime is being committed around them at all times.
Yeah.
But he said that when he started doing that, it was remarkable that it actually helped him lose a bunch of weight.
Yes, because these small, short bursts of energy, whether it's just something regular like, dusting or vacuuming or whatever, it will provide the same benefits as exercise without actually going to the gym. And they found that the half that actually did those chores hard and did them hard
chores.
Yeah, they were the ones who had a better result when it came to health and fitness, and that they think that this could reduce people's risk of heart attack or stroke by half just by doing your chores and doing them hard.
So instead of dragging your giant trash cans to the curb like some lazy loser, lift them over your heads.
Do it like those guys that are pushing those tires.
So work out.
Yeah, that's what you
turn it into a workout.
Trash would be spilling everywhere.
Just pushing it down like those guys with the giant wheels.
Yeah.
But,
or even when you're taking the trash out, just do a few reps with those trash bags. You know what I mean?
It's funny because when I bring in the jugs, the water jugs, I actually feel like I'm holding these two heavy weights. Even though they're heavy for me and hard, I do attempt to curl them a few times.
Yeah.
Just on the walk in, because I feel like, all right, that counts as a workout for today.
I love how you attempt, but don't
No,
succeed.
I can't. Couldn't possibly do it, Ali. It's got to be 50 pounds of water. Who could lift that? But the point is that they're saying now, and I don't know who they are, but if you are one of these people that's going, everyone around me feels like they're getting super skinny. Look at Jake. Guy's down like 10 pounds already.
Yeah, but even
Lasara, well done.
Folding laundry, if you do it real fast, it's a workout on your arms and shoulders.
Some chores are better for doing this than others. Like, I agree that if you want to, instead of pushing your giant trash cans when they're full of stuff, lift it up and carry it, that's legitimate. I mean, that could be considered a workout. Folding laundry faster, I don't think is going to do anything for you. It's just
I
not.
think if you do everything faster.
If you're running, if instead of vacuuming, like, I guess at a normal vacuum pace, if you were to running around your house vacuum, you're going to end up hurting yourself probably, but I guess at the time you could burn some calories, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about cleaning your kitchen, if you really get down and dirty into it, it can be a lot of work, and you do feel tired afterwards.
Well, people do say, I think you're the biggest advocate of getting high and then cleaning. It's a different level of clean, a deep clean, because you get almost OCD about it when you get really high.
And you can get lost in it.
Right,
you can get lost in it, just have a show on that's a great background show and just clean, and that all of a sudden 7 hours has gone by and your house is clean as a whistle.
But if you combine that with the concept of high intensity chores.
Yeah, and like, okay, I've got an upstairs and a downstairs, and I, normally would carry all my cleaning materials and bring them downstairs so that I don't have to do that multiple times. But why not go up and down, up and down? I got to get the Windex. I got to get the Clorox. I got to get all the stuff and do up and down stair runs throughout your cleaning
Is this
experience.
that much weirder than what Jake was doing before he started on the Lasar, where he was doing that invisible
Skipping?
jump roping?
Oh.
Remember he had his invisible...
That's a workout.
He's similarly weird, like the guy's standing there like he has a jump rope and going through the motions, but he has no jump rope, so he's just doing it with nothing.
Yeah, I think that it's very similar. And when you pull up to your place, you get out, just run in the house like you're a valet.
Everything's sprint.
Yeah.
Sprint. And
those valets are always in shape, man. They're
always
running all
in
over
shape.
the place.
Those are always a size XS tuxedo, extra small. Every one of those little tuxedos those valets wear are very, very
Imagine
tiny.
sprinting with a Costco cart back to your car. You'd be jacked.
I think we should try it for a week and see which one of us ends up in the ER first.
That'll be fun.
Because we fell downstairs trying to vacuum by sprint.
Won't be
sprint
cables.
vacuum.
I've got strong, sturdy ones.
KROQ, we are a Klein Alley show.
I've been waiting, girl, you know I've been anticipating for the day you'd come my way. Now you're here and I got to say, you're my adrenaline, you're my fire. Girl, you make me wanna reach up higher. No star is too far. Spread your wings as we reach up for the sky. Give me your love, girl. Now give me your love, girl. Now give me your love, girl. Now give me your love,
I see the lightning, feel the thunder. Girl, it's time for us to go down under. I've got you, and you got me. Let's get together and make some memories.
Give me your love, girl. Now give me your love, girl. Now give me your love, girl. Now give me your love. I got a shoulder you can lean on.
When times get bad,
Don't be sad, right here by your side. Yeah, yeah. True love's so hard to find.
When you get it, got to hold on tight.
I got you, and you got me. Let's get together and make some memories. Give me your love, girl. Now give me your love, girl. Now give me your love, girl. Now give me your love, Give me your love, girl. Now give me your love, girl. Now give me your love, girl. Now give me your love.
Back me up in a second, and I'm sure you will be able to, because Allie and Omar are both ganging up on me behind the scenes here at KROQ for something that I am convinced happens on a regular basis. And just because you haven't lived a life and you've never experienced this doesn't mean it doesn't happen.
I have flown on, I can't even tell you how many airplanes, and this has never once happened to me. Yet, it seems to happen to you every single time.
Not every time.
Almost every time there is a flight.
Not every time.
Klein says the day of, oh my goodness, my flight has been moved earlier.
Yeah, it just happened. It just showed you proof.
Right. Well,
it just showed you the ticket.
For one,
it's not my
what you
flight.
showed me was a difference of 10 minutes. So that's not necessarily going to change your entire day and how you're going to get to the airport.
If you live by the second, if you give yourself a margin of error of 1 second and they shift the departure time by 12 minutes earlier, that screws you up. I'm not going anywhere today. But
you've also claimed that there have been multiple changes with the timing of this flight.
Oh, this flight
and
has
that when
changed
you booked it was noon, and now it's moving earlier and earlier all the time.
Yeah, and if you work in the airline industry or you travel a lot for work, please call and defend that this happens all the time. There was one time where I was on the air doing this show, and we had a flight that was scheduled at 11:30, I think, out of Burbank. And while I'm on the air doing the show, I see that the flight time has now moved to an hour and 15 minutes earlier.
And that they would just make this change and you would know nothing about it.
Well, no, you get an alert. If you're signed up for the alerts, they alert you. But you claim that that's impossible, that airlines can't do that they don't
Omar,
do that.
have you ever experienced a flight changing on the earlier side?
No, I haven't. And then, I mean... You
Good
have
argument.
to kind of plan
Good
things
argument.
out. That
Argument.
doesn't allow you to plan anything out.
Exactly. Well, they know that if they change it to that much earlier, people can't get to the airport in time and then will miss their flight.
Maybe that's intentional. Maybe it's a big plan by the airline industry.
What are you talking about?
In fact, I will say this. One time, there was an airline that doesn't even exist anymore. It was called AMA or ANA or something. The thing would only fly to Hawaii. And I had tickets for 8:30 a.m. to leave. And I got there at plenty of time, 8 o'clock, 30 minutes in advance.
Jesus.
And they said the flight took off at 7. They decided to leave earlier. Now, once again, I said, what am I supposed to do? They said, it's not our problem. The plane left early. We notified people, and that's on you. I'm telling you, it happens a lot.
I do not think this happens a lot. I think that you don't manage your time well, and you also don't read things properly.
Okay, yes.
So you think that things are leaving at a certain time. I'm convinced that half these times you have booked a flight thinking in your head a completely different time than the actual time you booked.
Sometimes I get confused when it talks about the length of the flight, and I think that that's the time.
Yes.
So it'll say the flight is 3 hours and 4 minutes, and I'll think the flight leaves at 3:04.
Right.
And then I'll realize...
Even what you were showing me, you're like, see, this is changing to earlier too. And I'm like, that's your arrival time. You don't even know what you're reading half the time. So how are you going to show up on time for a flight that I'm sure was that time all along, but it's changing in your mind?
I had a flight change to an hour earlier the day before the flight. Had to change my entire schedule. That's from 562.
Okay.
818. This happens regularly. This is something
you're
that's...
not...
and by the way, sometimes, Allie, airlines...
Where are you reading that? That's not here.
On the text line. We took a trip, this is from 626. We took a trip last year to Hawaii. Got pushed earlier. Klein's right. That was American Airlines. Happens all the time.
But even in this person's example, it was the day before. In your examples, you are arriving at the airport and they're going, we just felt like leaving early.
Yeah, in the Hawaii one, that's exactly what happened. They felt like leaving early. That sucked. That was a terrible day.
What kind of an operation would do that?
Well, the airline went out of business shortly after. In fact, I'm annoyed because they actually gave me a credit for the airline, and before I could use it, it went out of business.
Probably would have missed that flight anyway, too.
I have a stupid ticket at home. I have a letter at home that says I have a free flight on an airline that doesn't exist anymore.
626, I had a 1 hour change 2 days before a flight. I can understand a couple of days beforehand. And I will say that when I was traveling to another country, those flights, especially if you book them far in advance, those can change. And I did get emails saying like, hey, your flight's in a couple of weeks. This is the new time. But in your example, these are shorter flights that are last minute changing as you are arriving to the airport.
Because I think sometimes they start crunching the numbers and they go, hey, we have a noon flight and we have a 2 flight and they're both half full. Let's just combine them into one and screw one of those groups over and move it. I'm telling you, that's what they do. We have no power. You know how this is. We got no power.
So the flight would still leave?
None of us own an airplane, so that's right. It'll leave. And then they just go, you figure it out. That's how it is now. That's what we've gotten to.
631, I'm an Uber driver, and I see this happen to customers a lot.
Right. This happens all the time. I'm telling you, Uber drivers probably have people in the back seat that are going, don't worry, take your time. I have 2 hours. And then they go, oh, wait a minute. Oh, it's just been updated. Oh, it's boarding now. Go, 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 go. Happens all the time. I'm telling you.
I think maybe
it's
there's
real.
no way that can happen on a regular basis.
And Marlene is on the phone to back me up here, as are multiple people. We'll come back after this.
As are no one else.
There's a lot of people backing me up on KROQ. takeaways. Then we turn it over to the great Nicole Alvarez. She'll take you through 40 minutes nonstop KROQ. More Disneyland tickets coming up again at noon. You win them again at 3 with Kevin Ryder and at 6. You never know who will stop by here at KROQ. Yesterday's just a random surprise pop-in visit from Lincoln Park. Who will join Kevin Ryder today? You never really know. All right, let's get into it, Allie. Takeaways. What do we got?
All right. 818, my takeaway is show us the double Bs, baby.
Show us them double Bs.
We'll do anything for 100K.
Anything to get the YouTube numbers climbing. Keep following along. This show will be up there for you to check out after the fact. KROQ's YouTube.
213, my takeaway is Jake's life is a hoopty. 213, my takeaway is Peter North shoots loads.
Yep.
818, stay away from tap water for the next 48 hours. And 909, my takeaway is Allie is a blimp in the history of time.
Yeah, you sure are. And this is the warning that we started today's show
Hey, Klein Alley Show and listeners. Just wanted to point out that on today's show, Allie talked about peeing in the Colorado River, which is the main water source for all of Los Angeles.
Oh, God.
So if you're one of 19 million Los Angeles residents, you've got about 48 hours before you're drinking Allie's pee water.
Thank you.
Sweet divots.
There's a great message to end today's show with.
Here's a great message, 5805. I am a major airline pilot here, and we only change the flight time up to 10 minutes on the day of. A month before, they are all pretty set in stone.
Yeah,
Outside
false.
of that time, they can change slightly.
Guys,
Yeah, we're
wrong.
those people on the phone. We're going to back you up there, Klein.
Guy's wrong. Well, I don't know. I don't know
There
what
was
happened.
a Marlene who was looking dicey
There was
from the beginning.
Quite a few people, but we have to we have to go. What is your takeaway from today's show, Jake the Nerd?
The hen house really laid an egg.
Oh, yeah.
The hen house. That's right. That's our company's Zoom of choice. Allie, what's your takeaway?
My takeaway is fake DJ Omar Khan knows how to pickle a pepper.
He sure does. Nobody better at pickling a pepper than fake DJ
You know what
Omar.
I always say? Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, and if Peter Piper could pick peppers better than any pickled pepper picker, how many pickled peppers did Peter Piper pick?
Yeah, he's better than Omar in every way. Chef's kiss for that guy.
man.
Omar, you got a takeaway? Let me hear you stutter this one.
Why don't you ask Marlene?
She's not there, so I can't.
Come on, Marlene.
Let's
Back
go.
him up
Okay.
here.
All right. Let's get out of here. Here's Omar Khan to take us out. Bye.
That they feel that that you know they feel that
World Famous KROQ.
Klein Alley Show.
Klein Alley Show.
KROQ.
All right, prize pick.